pass it over to you.
Okay. Hello, family and friends. Welcome to another Talks with Lim. I'm your host. I'm Lim. I'm a software engineer, and my sidekick is
Emmett. I'm Emmett. I'm a realtor here in Las Vegas. Hello, good people of the world and Lim's family and friends. Welcome back to the show. We're also happy to have Renee back. Is this a third appearance?
Third appearance.
3-time in Renee. What's your story?
So, hey, I'm Renee, y'all. I'm an LCSW. Just here keeping it real.
What's an LCSW?
Sorry. Licensed clinical social worker.
Licensed, okay.
Mental health professional. What are we talking about today?
One thing I forgot to mention. This is available on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Supercast, and all the other major platforms. All right. So I think some of the topics that I want to talk about is aliens. Living in a simulation. And then we have some questions about the difference psychologically of men and women in the sense of whether it's motivation where men say they may excel. I feel
at
like
sports.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm going to come off like a jerk saying some of it. But
he is a jerk.
So some men will excel at sports or in the corporate offices, but I don't think that might be just something culturally where other humans, other people accept men in the higher positions, and some women don't get there or are held back. So that's something I want to talk with you. Okay. Is it psychologically? Is it culturally? Or is testosterone a big part of that? So just kind of that whole big topic and what you think of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would frame it more differently, more as men and women seem to be wired differently in our brains here in the U.S. and we see societal trends and different roles for men and women, different, observations. Mm-hmm. So, what are the roots behind that? Are there sources to this, or is it, it's something to discuss because you have a unique background in understanding the way people think, right? Or how people should think. Or
the way they do.
Yeah.
The way we should. Well,
maybe society's telling us how we should think, and then what we actually think is different. I don't know.
No, I think she said, you said how people should and how people do. Now the do. I think you did resort back. You said again how people should. Renee's, I think, studies is more how they do, not how they should.
Kind of both.
Okay.
Because the study of psychology of human behavior and stuff. There's still like a very philosophical background of the big old questions of like why, and metaphysical questions like why do we exist? Why do we procreate? Why do men and women think differently and do things differently, and why are our trajectories differently? Of course, it's fun.
Well, what if we do it like, say if you had a box of donuts, mm-hmm. you do want to eat them all, mm-hmm. but you should want to share them?
Why?
Well, because there's a greater benefit to sharing donuts and then having people that now feel indebted to you by donuts.
But do I want everyone to get diabetes?
To get what?
Diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, so you should only share donuts with people who aren't.
Only share your carrot sticks.
Don't give food to obese people? Is that what we're...
I think I get what you mean is like, there's our greedy wants and then there's our, the greater good. Yeah. Should we want that above our own needs or our own wants, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just tiptoeing towards do versus should. Mm-hmm. Oh, in human thinking. Very, very small topics here.
I think, okay, so let's say the do. So guys, I see guys often get into the corporate world and get higher up, and then women kind of get pushed. They're either blocked, there's a ceiling of some sorts, or it's just, I think testosterone has a lot to do with, I theorize. I don't know. Where would you, if I were to say, why is there not more women in the higher corporate world? What comes to mind first to you?
I would say it's a combination of things, a lot of which are societal influence. Men and women, biologically, we're different. you know, if we go back to, you know, like the fundamental differences and why we have those physiological differences, we serve different purposes, right? The role of the female is to nurture. The role of the male is to hunt, gather, provide. So that's kind of what we're hardwired.
So based on our caveman roots?
Essentially, yeah, that's part of it. And also societally, we're nurtured, like we are raised to do different things. Go in a toy store, there's a pink aisle and there's a blue aisle.
Yeah.
And they're very different toys. The blue aisle is action oriented, it's puzzles, figuring things out. You know, like competitive stuff, that's where all the race cars are, that's where the action figures are, that's where you have like most of like the Lego sets, building sets, those are in like the boys aisle.
I think I saw a recent picture where they're trying to do the toys like male and female, boys and girls in the same aisle. Have you seen that? Or
I haven't. I worked in a toy store back in college, and like it made me sick because I was the little girl that like I would always have like baby dolls, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like I don't know. I want to solve something. Yeah. But I was a girl, so I got everything in the pink aisle, and it was just like little humans, and all I could do was put clothes on them and take the clothes off, and that's all they did. I was like, this is stupid. Like, what? I want to build something. I want to create something. I want to go, like, you know, race cars.
We've been trying to take clothes off of women ever since.
You've been in the wrong aisle, bro. In the wrong aisle.
Where do you think? That how much of an effect on girls the toys of blue?
I can tell an anecdote real quick. Just today, Marielle was telling me about she went to a friend's party, and her friend said her 3-year-old daughter was kind of mimicking her putting on makeup, and she had quoted something like, you need to put some blush on the apple of your cheek. And the mom was like, I don't tell you that stuff. Where does that come from? Like, she doesn't even know. Like, that's her mom of a 3-year-old presumably knows all about her life, but she doesn't even know where that particular phrase came from. So all around us, society is kind of hitting us with these expectations or roles, or
it is. And a lot of it is, I mean, it's not like people, I don't think that a lot of parents intentionally put their child in this box of like, you are a girl, you're here to make babies and that's your job. But, you know, we have like gender reveal parties and like, oh, make a big deal out of pink. So now I'm going to get everything pink, and you're going to just live that pink life. You know, you're going to get dolls, and we decide that before like that kid's even born, like this is part of your identity. And then they just grow up in that environment and, you know, just kind of assume like, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to take clothes off babies.
Well, it's funny because we're in like 2021, right? So this is not a new thing to think, hey, we shouldn't necessarily try to pigeonhole our kids into these very narrow roles. But I think just the other day, somebody was telling me their kid wanted a $300 like 2-foot tall Barbie doll. And she's like, fuck that shit. I ain't spending $300 on a Barbie doll. But I mean, that's just another anecdote of another one of those, like literally a doll influence, right? And,
and if the kid genuinely wants, like, that's cool. I mean, I still wouldn't spend $200 on a Barbie doll. I don't care like how much I love that kid. Like, no, you get a job. But just like deciding that right away. And then I think there just continues to be that societal influence. Like, as a girl growing up, like I wasn't encouraged to go and create things. I wasn't encouraged to build things, figure things out, hang out in the garage and learn how to work on cars. You know, I was encouraged to, you're going to join the band and you're going to play some crappy instrument like the clarinet. Not the drums.
Fuck that shit.
You know, like you're gonna.
Emmett has a personal hate of clarinets.
Hatred. I was like stuck playing the clarinet, right? And I was like, you can't even hear this stupid thing. Like this is a useless instrument. Like you can't even hear it. This is like I'm just sitting here.
Renee is officially my favorite guest.
Officially, third try.
How much do you think the pushing those toys on kids, is it like affects them 30%, 80%?
I don't know. I think it's.
Is there any studies where they go gender neutral? I've heard that recently. I I think we're so early because the documentaries I watched, these kids are like 5 and 6 years old, where they're pushing gender neutral, like everything from clothing to toys. They give the kid anything that they want to choose, but they don't push any specific toy. Now, there's going to be stuff that's if they watch TV, YouTube, they're going to see commercials that's tailored to one side or the other. But have you heard studies?
I mean, I haven't looked at a lot of research on it, but I definitely think that just giving people the option, and the earlier that you can make it known that they do have options, the less resentment is built. Because there's a lot of adults that are like, if only I had had this opportunity as a child, I could be in a career field that I really want to be in, instead of, I always felt I had to be a teacher, and so that's just what I did, and, hate my life, or, whatever's going on.
What's interesting is the toys is just a start, because then you go watch cartoons, right? And I grew up watching G.I. Joe, but obviously there was also My Little Pony was on.
Yeah.
A different time or a different channel.
Hey, My Little Pony was a kick-ass show, all right? They had
I was a boy. I didn't watch that
bronies.
Nowadays they got bronies.
Yeah.
But then, so that leads me to the question, then is there a problem when you don't distinguish genders? Because we have a lot of, a lot of coverage now about, I don't know, what do you call it, trans, or being gender neutral, or not choosing a side or a sex, or children wanting
gender fluid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess up to a point where, in the extreme case, I guess there are people under 18 getting gender surgeries.
Reassignment, yeah.
Yeah, so that seems kind of crazy to me. I think once you're an adult, I'm okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of gray area there. And my own personal opinion is you do you. Whatever, you do you.
Right.
But you can't expect the rest of the planet to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say that, you being you is not acceptable.
Yeah.
You should be you, and be the person that you want to be, and feel free to express yourself.
Yeah.
But to just expect that to be universally accepted by people who don't understand that, I think is unrealistic. There's a lot of there's a lot with that whole topic.
A lot of trouble.
I think it's Pride Month too. Is it Pride Month right now?
Is it this month or last month?
I think it's
is it this month?
My calendar says this month, yeah.
Yeah.
So on Google, I use the calendar on Google, and I wanted the holidays so you could know when Memorial Day is and when Father's Day is. But then it puts in all these other holidays that I didn't ask for, and there's no choosing. I'm not against Pride Month. I'm just saying it's there whether I want to know or not. And then also Juneteenth is on the 19th. I have never even heard of Juneteenth, but it's a holiday.
You didn't hear about this last year?
Is this new last year?
No, it's not new to last year, but there was a big deal.
I was busy pandemicking last year.
It's should research it.
It's end of slavery day, right?
I think so.
Oh, you were giving me the righteous.
I know. I was making you think hey, well, I know what it is, but I'm not going to let you know what it is. But yeah, something
about slavery.
Something along those lines. It's
slavery is bad no matter what gender you are.
Yeah.
You should not enslave other humans.
Yeah, it's universally frowned upon, I would say.
But horses, okay?
Maybe something with less of a sense of self.
I mean, you have a pet cat. Does that count as slavery?
I do feel I am a slave sometimes.
To the cat?
But I opted into this, so it's all right,
Zing. Sorry, I think I derailed us from our... We were on some deep topic there.
What, did we tangent?
Do you think...
boys should have dogs and girls should have cats? No?
Blue dogs, pink cats.
Blue dogs and pink cats.
If you had a magic wand right now, just to what you think would be the right way to raise a child, should there be
a world
blue?
full of hot chicks would be my magic wand.
Should there be a blue and pink aisle for toys?
You don't get this wand. I do.
Shit.
I don't. I think... a child is just a big old sponge to absorb everything that it can. And I think that children should have every opportunity that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Give the kid dolls and G.I. Joes and war toys and constructor sets, and just, let them decide what they're interested in, because you never know. You might think that this little girl is just going to look adorable in dresses, and maybe she does, and maybe she likes dolls, but maybe she's also going to be the next NASA engineer, you know, and providing them with the opportunities. Like, let kids decide for themselves if they like math. You know, like, did you have like your parents were like, oh, I hated this subject in school, you're going to hate this subject in school? Or we get a lot of those messages.
Yeah, America's kind of anti-math.
I know. I loved math growing up, but I wasn't allowed to like math because
Really?
people don't like math. So I felt stupid for saying like, oh, I really like statistics.
Oh, they didn't want you to be smarter than them.
Well, yeah.
Getting all
I didn't
smart
have
on
any friends
us.
anyway, so, you know, whatever.
That's an interesting take on that, because then for me being Asian growing up, it seemed like people are like, oh, you have to like math. And I happened to like math.
Yeah.
And I felt if someone, I mean, I'm able to, I guess, try to sympathize with what you're saying. If a bunch of people said that's not cool, then I probably wouldn't have done it, because, you know, every kid wants to be popular.
Yeah.
But because everyone was saying, oh, you're Asian, that's fine, you could do math, I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to continue liking math.
You're supposed to.
Yeah. They're like, here, math this.
Yeah. You're supposed to.
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
math all these things for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the topics that with this male and female thing that came up was because as I do a lot of invites for this podcast, I find that the majority of men that I message, they respond that they're more willing to come onto the show. And I get a lot of females their response is either, I don't have much going on in my life, I'm not that interesting, I haven't accomplished a lot. And I want to be I would like to be super equal to give both sides a chance to come on the show. So my show isn't 85% male because I want it to be.
Yeah.
I actually would prefer the flip side, actually, more females than guys, but I don't get to choose that.
So why are women reluctant to come onto a podcast?
Yeah. And I think,
well, no, I think that whole glass ceiling concept, it's still very real.
Oh yeah.
And which is sad because like, it's just stupid, but you know, so we get this message all throughout our lives, right? Like, you know, yeah, go to college, get a career, that's cool. But ultimately your job is to parent. You are here to make babies and that's your job. And if you want to have another job over here where you make money and you're self-sufficient, like that's cute, but you need to be able to do this too. So we're sent these different messages on what our priorities should be. And even amongst other like career-oriented women, there's a lot of negativity if you prioritize your career over your family, or, you know, just as a woman in her 30s, like there's a lot of judgment of, you know, where's your kids? Shouldn't you be at home with your kids? Shouldn't you be making dinner for your husband? Or
your clock's running out.
I know, right? and I don't think that men receive that message as much. Like you don't just run out, you know, like we do.
But for men, it's almost like you'd almost be forgiven for being kind of a crappy dad if you were successful at bringing home the bacon, right? If you could provide for a family and give them a nice house and send your kids to a private school and, you know, there's a Suburban in the driveway, then people would see you as a provider and they go, yeah, he's not very good with the kids. He's not emotional. He doesn't help them with their math and he doesn't take them out to play football, but he's working so much. And
yeah, they never wanted for anything.
See, I think of those as kind of old-fashioned things, but are those still current?
I would say that there's still a lot of that societal pressure. And for career-oriented women, like we still have to be that much better. You know, like just as a lot of minorities do, like just because you don't fit this template of what corporate America looks like, you have to be that much better with your work. And for women, we have a bad day and we get upset and we're hormonal, we're hysterical. A man has a bad day and gets upset. He had a bad day. Yeah. Like there's still very much a double standard there. And a man being assertive is, you know, he's committed, he's dedicated to his work. A woman being assertive is a bitch who has something to prove. Yeah. Like, oh, well, she's PMSing. Like, no. Right. You know, I'm asserting myself. So there's still a lot of that, and it's.
Would you call them destructive gender stereotypes in the workplace? Is that what we're?
I think that's a good way to put it. Okay. Did you come up with that by yourself?
No, I'm just trying to analyze what you're saying.
I mean,
Or
there's
interpret what you're saying.
that's a good phrase though. You should
What
write
did I
that down
say?
somewhere.
Destructive
Destructive gender,
Yeah.
something
stereotypes in the workplace.
Yeah. Like even so in my field, the field of social work is heavily dominated by women.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because it's a nurturing kind of job.
Well, because dudes don't go for that degree, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a handful that do, but it's like 5-10%.
Yeah.
But when you look at supervisory positions, they are heavily dominated by men. So you're looking at 5 to 10% of the population has the vast majority of leadership positions.
Oh, so if
within
I
my
had gotten
field.
a social work degree, I could have been a boss really easily,
heck
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a joke with one of my friends that I worked with, like after we had both got our clinical license around the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a white female, he's a white man. And
Yeah.
I was like, watch, when we, you know, start moving up the ladder,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to be my boss,
Yeah.
even though I got licensed a year before you did.
Ah.
And lo and behold, we're at the same organization now. He's been promoted for a year or so.
Right.
And I'm just still here like being overqualified.
Oh, is that
So, yeah.
literally him being selected for promotion? Like, are you would you say that gender aside that you should be where he is anyway?
Possibly.
Okay.
Like I definitely have more, like I didn't apply for the same jobs that he did.
Yeah.
But I applied for other ones that, you know, would have been at the similar level, and looking at the other applicants,
Yeah.
like I'm definitely more qualified, but
Right.
you fit the demographic.
So you need to change your name to something very manly on your resume.
Or change my last name to something more Spanish sounding.
or Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Johnston.
There we go.
Wait, what's the advantage to Spanish sounding?
Well, because my first name is also a man's name in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
You drop the one E.
Gotcha. No, but then you're a different minority. You want
Fiddlesticks.
to be a tall white male.
I do. So I'll just be a Robert, I guess.
Gotcha.
I was going to ask, bring up some story or think of some stories where you feel that you've been unfairly, and you,
Bingo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's dig into the pain.
Because I think it's different hearing someone's firsthand experience story versus if we were to sit here and try to think out different scenarios and whatnot.
Well, because Liem has felt a lot of challenges in the corporate ladder also. So I know that's
being Asian and short. I think probably the short is probably the biggest one. The Asian thing, I noticed it did help certain I feel like because IT, there's a lot of Asians in there. So that did help.
Yeah.
But I never got a manager role or it was very hard to get certain roles that was near manager. So
Yeah.
I was really upset when certain friends that I felt I was way more qualified than them, and then they jumped way faster than I did.
Mm-hmm. They laddered up.
Yeah. So,
Laddering on up.
Yeah.
but
Okay. So what was the biggest position that you should have gotten that you got gypped on? Oh, that's not a nice word. That you got screwed out of. Sorry, gypsies.
I would say my
apologize.
my boss right now. I applied for that job,
Yeah.
and it's where I already work.
Do we need to cut this out?
I was just gonna say, if they hear this, will they be upset?
No, fuck those guys. She should be the goddamn boss.
Well, like it. So our boss took another position and she left.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want you to take over this program because
Yeah.
you know the program, you helped it, you built it from the scratch. You know, like you are the shoe-in. And she's like, you know, showing me some stuff.
Yeah.
They have to open the position up to, you know, everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, somebody else got the position and he's nice guy,
Right.
cool guy, was already in a leadership position somewhere else, but like
Yeah.
he's never set foot in this program at all.
Yeah.
He hasn't done things similar
Mm-hmm.
to this. And like, how is it possible that he would know more about running this program that
Yeah.
I'm already running than I do?
Right.
If he watched this podcast, would he be upset hearing that right now?
I've told him this.
Oh, okay.
We actually have a really, like, he's a cool person. He's a great guy. I joke around all the time. I'm like, you know, you should be my assistant. But
That's hard because no matter how nice of a guy in the world you are, if I was in that dude's shoes, like, well, what can I do? I can't give you my job, right? We can't swap jobs.
Yeah.
So that's a hard position to be in.
Yeah. But I also know that, just because this is how leadership at my company works, I don't feel that I would have had the same level of support that he has to be successful in that position.
Solely on the gender difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it
proud.
Because I'm a girl.
There's a holiday for this, I think.
So, I don't know. I think we have a month or something somewhere.
Is there a Women's Month?
I don't know. Probably.
It should be a Promote Women Month.
It's Mother's Day.
So what would we do how would we fix this? I know that's.
I'll just take a
chop the
raise.
dicks off.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
yeah. We just make up for that. Like, what is it? 11%, 21%. Like, I'll just take the money. I'm fine with that.
The gender pay gap.
Whatever. I don't need a parade or anything. I'll just take a raise. That's cool. But if you're talking like affirmative action or something like that, I don't know that is the solution.
Then you just get tokens.
You do, and then it's like, did I get this job because I'm actually qualified, or did I get it because you needed to meet the demographic? And I know of a few people that are in like higher up positions, and that's kind of like the identity crisis that they're struggling with. Like, did I really earn this? Am I really the best qualified, or did you just need somebody that looks like me for the photo?
Yeah.
And I think again, it's like you got to back the truck up a lot more and look at those opportunities when people are being groomed, to have the background, to have the assertiveness skills that they need, and to have the understanding of like, we all look different, but it really depends on like our skill set. And that's what should matter most. So if you want to
back the truck up to Legos, I have seen very girly Lego sets now. They have they're like princess dollhouse kind of.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Okay.
If you look at those sets, they're not compatible with the other ones. Like, look at the figures; they're totally different.
Yeah.
So again, you're pigeonholing, and you're saying you need a special set because you're a girl, and you need to have a bigger figurine because I don't know, like you're too stupid to figure out the smaller one. Like,
no, they can't be pretty if they're the small, clunky.
But like, why do you need a pink Lego set? Can't you make that out of a regular?
It's like the gateway to the Technic set where you build a dump truck.
So this show we've been talking shit about a bunch of companies, and I feel like we can't get sponsorship. So fuck you, Lego, for pigeonholing women.
No, I like Legos. What do you
I really like
fuck
Legos
you, Lego.
too, but I don't have any.
Don't listen to Emmett. Listen to Renee.
So that's a new like girl set.
Yeah.
When I was younger, there was actually like they started doing this like girl Lego set thing.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was like a horse farm. It was like every single set was like, and here's the stables for your ponies. But it was regular sized, everything. It was compatible with other Lego sets. So I didn't really have that much of an issue with it because I was like, one, I get more horses and horses are awesome. I wasn't happy that every single set was white, pink, and gray. Those were the colors that everything was. Like, here's your little beach house and it's white, pink, and gray. And here's your little horse trailer and it's white, pink, and gray.
You don't want a boy to accidentally buy the horse set.
I know, right? What would happen? He might catch the gay. So, oh no, pink. But it wasn't like, I don't know. I have issue with the new Lego girl sets just because they don't like what if she wants to go and play in the castle over there? Or the pirate ship.
Well, so I will purposefully buy, I have friends with kids, so I'll buy them the age appropriate set of like the RV camper or whatever, and I'll try to pick something that's like camping with an RV and it's got, all the a family or something, right?
Yeah.
So that seems gender neutral, or, a truck with a trailer and a boat.
I think like until this whole like girl set came out, like I always felt that Lego was pretty gender neutral. Like Duplos are it's just bricks. You just build stuff out of it, and they have like animals and stuff. And I always felt like they kind of were, but now it's like, we have special ones just for girls.
I'm going to guess that they don't have too much of an agenda beyond sales, right?
Right.
I think they're just seeing what sells. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess. If I was running Lego, then I would, if people want these girl sets, we'll make more girl sets.
Probably.
We'll see if they sell.
We want more Star Wars sets.
Yeah,
we want more Star Wars
There's
sets.
a lot of Star Wars, right?
They're amazing. Yeah.
But if you're talking about what sells money wise, then that's going to be parents that are stupid humans that, there's a little girl set that's pink that has big blocks for girls, and then the mom is going to push the dad to buy that.
Well, I'll take Lego's position and say, well, there's a whole girl aisle. Us having girl Legos ain't going to change anything. You know, we're not creating these generational stereotypes that are being passed down. But if you're going to sell all this girl shit anyway, how about we sell some girl shit? Girl toys. Sorry.
Which makes sense. No, it's all right. You can call it girl shit because most of them are shit.
We need Asian Legos, or is that Ninjago? No, Ninjago is racist.
I was just gonna ask where's the German Legos, but whatever. We're being all inclusive here.
Wait, why do the Germans get Legos?
I mean, they probably wouldn't because it's a Dutch company, right?
Yeah,
Lego. So yeah,
do they have different sets over there?
I don't know. I
Can
haven't.
you get a beer hall set?
Probably. I mean, you could make one.
You need the lederhosen on the.
Oh, they definitely have a lederhosen Lego guy somewhere. That exists for sure.
Well, okay, so if we back the truck up into space and look down, is there inevitably differences in the workplace because we have different genders? Like, can you equalize? If there is a difference, can you ever equalize? Can it be equal and different?
I would say it's about equal opportunity and allowing people to leverage their own strengths.
Yeah.
Right. Because like different people, and not even just based on gender, but based on their personal history and their ethnic background and all these different things. Like,
yeah,
we would all provide different strengths to the same position. Right.
Yeah.
So if it was like 20 of me, it's going to be very lopsided.
I would never fight 20 of you.
Right. And whoever, like that company would just be like straight introverted assholes, you know, with other skills. Like there'd be some kick-ass spreadsheets, but it would be lacking in other things. I know that didn't answer your question at all.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. You want a diversity of talent is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that that's what's necessary for anything to be
good
successful.
At labeling shit.
You are. You're like, you're the wordsmith over here. See, and that's a strength of yours.
Yes, I can make it look pretty.
Nurture that.
I guess what I'm asking is, well, so for example, this podcast, women are more reluctant to come on to respond to an invite to come onto a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, me being aware of that, I'm gonna think, well, there's something different about women and men.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're behaving differently.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. So there's something different about men and women.
Many things.
Yeah. So we have an equality of opportunity. Anybody who gets invited by Liem can come onto this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you could ask to be on this podcast if you have something interesting you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
If you can handle this level of intellectual rigor
right.
of three people talking out of their asses
about Legos and soon
I had no idea we were going to talk about Legos as much.
But it's a great metaphor for society.
Yeah, it has become the focal point of gender differences in the U.S.
I think that it's not so much about you're not providing opportunity for women to come on, because obviously you are. I'm here. Yay. But there's the perception that we have to like hold on our own, that if I say something stupid, it's probably going to be judged more harshly than if one of you says something stupid. Because somewhere back in our minds, we still feel that women are less intelligent than men.
And or judged that way.
Yeah. Or at least, as women, a lot of times we have that fear that we're held to a different standard, that, like I don't think either of you thought about putting on makeup to cover up the bags in your eyes before you came on here.
I did actually. I put some.
Looks great. Blend a little more.
I don't think it's working.
I didn't shave because I had a pimple over here.
I don't have that luxury.
Trying to hide it.
I'm like, let's not go back to this whole no mask thing. I don't want to. But like, if I showed up just nothing. I mean, this isn't a lot of makeup, but there would be more judgment on me for not doing my role as a woman. I guess.
No, I judge you as a naturally beautiful person.
Aww.
You look good.
I feel like because it's the content. Maybe I'm so polar on this.
Yeah.
Because it's I'm listening to someone. I judge someone once I've heard enough of their opinions, their thoughts. Are they moral? Are they selfish? Are they greedy? And I don't think looks, height, race, to me that doesn't matter. But I might be kind of on the.
Also on Spotify, then your voice is your appearance.
Yeah.
So you're like super sexy on Spotify.
Got that face for radio. I would say that you, Liem, are a more well-rounded earthly person because you are naturally inquisitive. And that's like more the thing that you look for is, do you have an interesting story to tell?
Yeah.
Regardless of what you look like.
And or also probably through my history of going to work and being treated a certain way, I do try to, I spend a lot of time thinking about why I was treated that way. Mm-hmm. How can I treat other people so that they don't get that same effect?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is too much of a sidetrack. Once the dump truck falls into the ocean, there was I saw some kind of article, I don't know, it was a meme or something. Some dude threw a party back in the 80s, and it was like an equal height party where you had these like, they weren't stilts, but like kind of platforms you could strap onto your shoes of different heights. And people were standing around at this cocktail party in New York. And if you were shorter, you had this higher platform thing, and people were all standing at equal eye level at this cocktail party.
Interesting.
And I was very curious if that makes a difference, or if it's just so ridiculous that you can't get any real. Like if we did that, we've had parties before. If we did where we had people strap up taller shoes, would that be a weird thing?
Well, we saw Ricky. Ricky came
He's a tall motherfucker.
He's like 6'7".
Yeah.
And when he comes to the party, like women just like love the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And the conversation afterwards was him, another guy, and another woman. I don't want to name names. It felt like that guy was so interested in Ricky. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. This Ricky guy gets so much attention from both races.
The dude was into Ricky?
Or both sides, both genders. No, I felt like the other guy was into Ricky.
Like because he looked up to him like a commander, or?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not sure what was going on. I don't know if they're vying for that other female, or that other guy felt intimidated that female like potentially liked Ricky. I have no idea.
Oh.
But
so now we're going into mating behaviors.
Yes.
Yeah. But height has so much effect on dating too.
Yeah.
It is the number one thing that women look at.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to argue?
Have you dated a guy shorter than you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
You're like one workout.
You're like 1 out of 10,000. Most women.
Yeah, you know me dating 10,000 guys.
No. I'm 1 out of 10,000 women. You're one of the few women that are willing to.
9,999 other ones were taller.
Because you hear so many women. I've heard it. I've heard word for word. They say, "I cannot date a guy shorter than me."
Yeah.
And then many of them will. I've seen so many like posts on Facebook where they say, "I will not date someone shorter than 6 foot."
6 foot, yeah. Which is stupid. Tall guys are assholes. I'm sorry. It's just,
Yeah, because
extensive
Ricky, you're an
research.
asshole.
Well, because they got all these women coming after him,
right?
It changes your behavior towards.
You got a soft
right?
spot for short fellas,
I actually don't mind that women will select for height. I mind when they're dishonest to themselves about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, no, I want a guy with a great sense of humor and that really cares about me. I don't want a guy that's smart and successful. And then you look at who they're dating, and it's just not any of those things.
It's tall douchebags.
Yeah, you're dating guys with tattoos and
tattoos.
Bad boys, right?
My goodness. Maybe even a piercing. Ah.
Yeah, well, I mean, certain people are attracted to certain things, right?
You got it there?
Is there an inverse correlation?
Not trying to height shame you.
I was just trying, for people that are listening, I was trying to reach for Renee's water for her mug, and I had to reach across the table. I could barely reach it because of my short little stubby arms, T-Rex arms.
Ricky over the table and his feet were off the floor.
All right, what were we talking about? Height.
I totally lost track. Yeah.
But I think the height thing is, I think it's a barrier for men and women, but I think for men it becomes more of a status thing or more of a self-confidence thing. Yeah.
You'll get promoted
because
faster and get more chicks in a bar.
Yeah. It's
now.
associated with like manliness and, procreation, all that good stuff. And also for women, like there's a lot of tall women that really struggle with dating because there's a lot of men that don't want to date a woman that's taller. Like one of my friends she's 5'10", and like, I mean, she's super smart. She's funny. She's an awesome person. She's beautiful, but yeah, like she's
Yeah.
perpetually single.
You're saying that knife cuts both ways.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she loves wearing heels.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when I was last guy that I was dating seriously, we were about the same height without shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't wear a lot of heels, even though I like, you know, my cute heels. Cause
I tell my wife's taller than me by like 2 or 3 inches, and I tell her, wear the heels if you want.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
you're a secure fella.
It doesn't bother
This guy
me.
was also kind of a douche, so, you know.
It
didn't end well.
On the air.
I kind of like the long legs with the heels, so.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I thinking of?
We were on to something good.
Yeah, we were, and then it kind of fell apart with heels.
We saw a squirrel.
I'm thinking about legs.
You know what I've noticed? Taller women, and it's a shame because I think tall women are beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
That height actually gives you an advantage in sports a lot of times, right? You have access
Volleyball.
to sports that other gals can't, right? Mm-hmm. So you have this chance to be physically athletic and active with extra height. Mm-hmm. But I've seen a lot of taller gals where they won't stand up straight because I think they're subconsciously always kind of hunching and their posture will kind of shrink. And I wonder how aware they are of it, or if it's just something that you grow up with and you don't want to be the tallest girl in the photo. And
Yeah, because then you're a freak and
yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've never noticed that. Women that slouch a lot to try to get their height down.
Yeah, just taller women will oftentimes not just stand tall and proud, right? And I want to tell them, you know, reach for the heavens.
Yeah.
Be tall.
Stand proud, you tall, beautiful Amazon.
Yes.
On the tall friend thingy that you mentioned, a tall friend earlier. I have a friend. She's 6 foot, and then she posted on Facebook like, "How am I gonna find a guy that's over 6 foot willing to date me?" And I'm like, you don't have to date. I kind of got upset. I wanted to say you do not have to date someone taller than you, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could go for somebody who's a great human being and loves you.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Right.
We don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
So how do we get over this height thing? Teach
How do we fix
children,
society?
teach all children that they could shop in the pink and blue aisle and the height doesn't matter.
I'll tell you, the Legos are all equal height.
Except for the girl Legos.
But
They're
in
all
the
tall.
girl world, they're all the same,
They're
right?
all giant, and then all the normal Legos are like this tall, and it's like overcompensating. Maybe that's what Lego is out to teach the world. Like it's okay for girls to be twice as tall.
It does come from that Northern Europe, Danish tall
and
people
not have
world.
the bendy waist or whatever. I don't know. The figures are weird. Yeah.
Yes.
Just bizarre.
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully the gender thing will reach to corporate America eventually with the pink and blue. You teach children.
Well, so here, I feel like we are learning as a society to kind of push back against some of these negative parts of our society, right?
Tradition or
Old fashioned
yeah.
kind of gender roles. Are we going off the rails into a very weird place, or are we just fine?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of weird out there.
Yeah.
I think some of it is like just genuine, like, hey, I'm weird and that's a thing. I think some of it is I need to be more weird to out weird the next person, because there's always that attention seeking
I was going to say attention, yeah.
percentage of the population. So I don't know.
I feel very, what's the word? Not justified. I feel very verified that you said the word attention, that some weird people are doing it because they want the attention. Because I was thinking that, but you're a mental health professional, so maybe you have more insight into that.
Yeah. Well, and that's when you were talking about, like, you know, gender fluidity and, you know, people reassigning their genders and stuff. There's a part of that is a person just trying to be their genuine self, which, like, I will always support. And there's another part of that is an attention seeking.
Well, here's the thing. Like, say you're in a regular corporate job, right? And Bob wants to wear a dress to work, and he says, you know, I should have the right to wear a dress. I want to be more like a woman. I don't want to be Bob. But we know that if a dude wears a dress to work, there's going to be some societal attention and almost disruption, right?
Yeah.
It's weird that an item of clothing can have such a disrupting effect.
Yeah.
Like, so in your workspace, at your workplace,
yeah,
if a dude started wearing a dress to work even once in a while, would that be disruptive? Or would it be like, he feels like wearing a dress once in a while. Who cares?
He would definitely be ostracized. But
even
I also
amongst mental health professionals?
None of us wear dresses.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, that's an odd example because like I will never wear a dress or a skirt at my workplace. But part of it's not because I don't like wearing dresses and skirts, and maybe this like helps with what you're getting at, because I don't want that attention. I don't like being sexualized at work.
So dresses and skirts are inherently sexy. Okay.
They draw that attention, and I guess because they're like the sign of femininity.
Yeah.
That says I'm a female here for you to look at, not I'm here to be your therapist. And I think for a man wearing a dress, and I'm thinking of like the men I work with, and I'm like, please, none of them, please do not.
Bob, leave your dress at home, Jesus.
Just great guys, swell fellas, but
not good in dresses.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Don't say it to their face.
I was fighting for your rights.
Yeah. But.
So, but if a guy chose to wear a dress to work, is there some gender thing where you're saying, hey, I want that freedom? Or is it really an attention-seeking
I think
thing?
It kind of depends on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it depends on the person. Because there is a lot of like, from just what I've seen anecdotally, a lot of the people that are not even a lot of the people, like, because my experience has been very limited just because of the population that I work with. But there seems to be some correlation between some of the more serious mental health diagnoses in terms of like thought process and attention seeking and this kind of like, I have to show the world this is who I am.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that being trans or being gender fluid or reassigning your gender is a mental disorder, because it's not.
But it's often connected to?
There are the people that do it because it's genuinely who they are, and there's the people that want the attention, essentially. Yeah. And that's a way to do it, I guess.
Huh. I would approach it as I was often, so in my youth growing up, I was often confused by societal behavior in that I kind of approached everything logically. Like, to me, everything was logical and there's a reason for everything. And I had to accept and understand after a while that a lot of people do these things just because other people are doing them. Like, I wouldn't know how to pick out cool clothes. Like, if I went to a mall or something right now and was going to try to pick an outfit for myself, I don't have this natural instinct. I could tell you clothes I like, but it took me a long time to realize, well, shit, if I just try to see what everybody else is wearing and try to dress like those other cool people, then that's really all it is. So is a lot of societal pressure just mimicking what other people are doing around you?
Yeah. I think there's like that grade school principle doesn't really fade out. I want to stand out, but not too much.
Oh.
I want to be recognized, but not for bad reasons.
Okay.
And I think that's still a thing. And I think as people develop and do so in less healthy ways, that expression comes out in more extreme ways.
Yeah, because I like to think that I'm a unique individual, but in the end, I wear a T-shirt and I drive a truck and I have a refrigerator. Like, I'm not weird.
I mean, you drive a truck with your face on it, so that's a different thing.
Spilling so face, yeah.
There's that.
But that's in pursuit of money. That's to let people know that I can help them buy or sell their house. Right now, I can only help you sell your house. I can't help you buy any houses right now because there aren't any to buy. I don't know. Am I dominating the questions too much?
No, go for it. I'm enjoying the talk.
I'm so curious because of your expertise that maybe you have a unique view on these sort of topics.
Maybe. I also see I mean, my perspective is very skewed because I spend so much time in the seedy underbelly. So what I see every day that's
is
normal
dysfunctional
to me,
people?
is dysfunctional people. So to me, all of these things are like very normal. I'm like, oh yeah, 50% of the people on the planet have borderline personality disorder. And that's probably not the case. That's just what I see every day. And like where I'm at now is much more, I guess, general population than what I used to do, which was acute psych, which is like, these are people at their very, very worst. So to me, this is all like just kind of normal how people act. And that's probably given me a very jaded perspective. I'm like, everybody has a personality disorder, which is not necessarily true.
Well, yeah. I mean, in some way, nobody is actually normal.
Right. We're all just trying to get closer to the average.
And then we walk out our front door and try to show a normal to the world. Mm-hmm. Is that what we're all doing?
I think we want to all be slightly above normal. I want to be like normal plus.
I mean, I think my truck declares to a lot of men that I'm successful.
But does it declare that to a lot of women?
No, women just see a truck.
They're like, oh, this guy with his face on his
small
truck.
Dick.
No, it's not lifted.
Yeah.
That's what we see. We see like a giant lifted,
yes.
Well,
like, so for the listening audience, it's a Ford Raptor, which is as close. It's probably the off-roadest truck you can buy stock from the.
It screams, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually like you start it and it's like, bro.
Yes. I'm gonna think that every time I start. I might just shout it out like a caveman, bro. But it's as close to a monster truck as you can buy from the dealership. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't buy from the dealership. I buy used, but
it's all right.
I love Ford.
I got broed out straight from the dealer, so it's okay.
Gotcha.
Love that thing.
I can't afford it from the dealership. It's expensive.
I was having a YOLO moment.
Yes.
A little bit of a tangent thought when you guys were saying, or when you said people want to be above average or plus. I think even the saying when you could say I'm smarter than the average person, or
yeah, me too.
So I think I
yeah.
I think we humans must have that must be a what am I thinking, like a cognitive desire to fit in. I think that goes into the Maslow's theories and stuff, hierarchy and whatnot.
Yeah. I think I think we were talking about this before, to a certain degree, that like, even though we're no longer like competing in the way that we used to for like resources and ability to reproduce, that's still kind of hardwired. Yeah. Like I still have to be sexier than the girl next to me so that, I can attract more potential mates. Yeah. Even though like, I don't want kids, like even though that's not like my conscious desire, that's still like hard greened.
Wait, so if dudes contact the podcast and say, hey, I'm really into that Renee chick, do you want us to let you know? Or
I'll be like, how tall are you? Let me see your teeth. Just examine them like a horse, Yeah.
Good teeth, guys. That's high on the.
Can I give you guys a really cute tangent?
Yeah.
I think it's adorable, but I think I'm adorable. So there was this dude that was like talking to me and or talking to me a text or something, like worked together way back in the day, contacted each other, whatnot. And he's all like flirting. He's like, hey, we should hang out sometime. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I couldn't remember why I had like stopped talking to him before. I was like, I think this guy might be kind of crazy, but I don't remember what it is. Like, he's pretty attractive. Like, something's up here.
Yeah.
So I made him take a Myers-Briggs personality test. I was like, here, just do this. And I got the results back. I was like, yeah, I remember.
Huh.
What was it? INFJ?
No, he was like the complete opposite of what I was. Because I'm a I.
Could you explain the test real quick to
yeah.
I'm thinking of a Rorschach test, but that is not.
No, it's like
that's not it.
There's something like 60 questions or something. I don't know the number, where it says something. The statement may be, you enjoy being in the center of attention, and then the 5 answers are, it's always 5. I feel this a lot. I don't really, or I kind of feel this.
Disagree.
Yeah, that's
basically.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like 60 or 70 questions that it comes out and gives you kind of what type of person you are.
Yeah, and it measures different things like introversion to extroversion, and it gives you like your percentage.
So then did you tell him, hey, you failed the test, bro?
Well, he was like, oh, did I fail? And I was like, well, it explains a lot.
Well, so you didn't give him a shot? You didn't go on a date?
Well, he just continued to dig himself into a really deep hole of like invading my personal privacy. And I was like
And the test told
establishing
you that was gonna
boundaries. And he was like, I need to know everything about your personal life. And I was like, I'll go with nah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Don't try to, casually hook up with mental health professionals. We'll tell you about yourself and you won't like it. It's lonely. No.
About 2 or 3 podcasts ago, there was me, Ricky, and Earl, and we talked about our Myers-Briggs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What are you?
INFJ. The one that I just said off, that I just said. I'll double check for the heck of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm, is I supposed to be?
So I is introverted.
Is it?
Why is he on this podcast?
So I actually do this with my patients.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, I'll just kind of like have them take the thing. We'll do a group on it. And we'll kind of talk about it and process it.
Yeah.
And I am always the most introverted person.
Okay.
I'm between 80 to 90%.
Do introverts like podcasts?
Introverts. So a lot of times people think that introverts are shy. It's really more about how we get our energy. So more extroverted people, they kind of recharge their energy by being around people.
Yeah.
Being introverted, being around people takes our energy. It depletes us.
Oh.
So that's why like when I walked in here, I was looking all like droopy and stuff because I'd just been hanging around with like 20 people needing my energy all day.
Oh.
So
Okay.
just a little long commute helps. But yeah, like we recharge just by having alone time and,
Interesting.
cats and bubble baths and things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't find mine right now. IN something. INFJ.
Does one of those letters stand for losing information?
Yes.
Disorganized?
Yes.
So the one that I usually use, I don't know if I'm not plugging anything here.
Sure. No, sell it.
But there's an easy one to use. It's free. It's called 16 Personalities.
16? Okay.
16. The number 16. But it actually tells you like what all the different things are.
Is there a 4 times 4 of options you could be?
Essentially.
Okay.
So there's 4.
I'm a math guy.
I'm actually going to pull it up right now.
I'm smarter than the average math person.
I'm an ISTJ.
No, I'm math D. No.
I don't know what the STJ is.
So you're probably INFJ or ISFJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. ENFJ.
Are you?
ENFJ. I thought it was I.
Totally lost. I'm LOST.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so where do how would we fit in a conversation together?
Oh, yours gave a cartoon.
Yeah,
it gives you a little thing. Yeah, mine's a little.
Did you guys use the same one?
Yeah, 16 personalities. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, do it, guys. You get a free cartoon out of the deal.
Right?
You look like a king.
Do you have? Is that your actual results? Are you a A or a T?
Wait, did yours give you a girly cartoon?
You can set it to do that. I'm
Because
this
I wouldn't
like
want it to stereotype you.
old scientist looking guy.
That's not you.
That's totally me.
Okay.
Look at the glasses and the pulled back hair.
You're an old scientist trapped
Holding a
in this
pen.
hot young lady's body.
Pretty much with my clipboard with a spreadsheet on it.
Disqualifying men
Yeah.
by checklist.
And look, there they are, Al and Ben. Just disqualifying all of it.
You're out.
Uh,
All right.
Poor Liam's gonna have to
instead
edit all of this
instead
out.
of dating apps, you're disqualifying men through the Myers-Briggs.
I figure this is easier, Like
Yeah. Wait, would a Myers-Briggs based dating app work better?
I'm
Well,
sure that
that's-
there is.
That was probably what was the old
Match.
Give away the idea. Match. 47 levels of compatibility.
Not match, but it did
eHarmony.
eHarmony. There you go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
But
Because they
are
talk
they
about
now?
all their different
Oh yeah.
compatibility things.
where are they
so-
now? It's Tinder now. So you see where humans are going with all this.
Yeah.
I hear from my friends that Tinder starts with the height requirement.
Really?
That a lot of chicks will just write, I will not date a guy under.
Oh yeah.
blank."
A lot of women would write in their bio that says will not date 6 foot or under or 6'2" or whatever.
And then I think there's a thing where dudes have to lie their height up.
Is Tinder like the housing market where it shows like how long she's been on here without I will not date somebody under 6'2". She's been on here for 3 years with no matches.
That would be fantastic.
That would be great. Just kind of shows you the
67
age of the
days on
listing.
market.
Yeah.
Where do you think for the, I'm jumping way back to the men and women thing. Where do you think testosterone plays into like the workplace, to equality, being treated in society and whatnot?
I don't know. That's probably more of like a medical professional's question, but there's definitely like a, from my understanding, it would help out with like motivation, competitiveness, like in more cutthroat and competitive areas where it's more helpful. But aside from that, I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
So testosterone motivates with anger or agitation? Does it get you moving, or what's the...
That would be the theory, I guess. Yeah. Less compassion, like if you guys are competing for the same job and, you're all teed up and he's not, then you're not going to really care if
I would recommend
you
Liem
step on him.
if we were going for the same job.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I would recommend Liem if we were the two candidates for a job.
Oh,
I would recommend Liem.
Mind if I take a 2 minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. We'll have to touch on cryptocurrency later, whatever questions you have.
After we talk about skirts.
Skirts. I like skirts.
Are we
I'm
back?
going to
Are we
go
live?
then.
Skirts and high heels.
No, are skirts and dresses... Sorry, this is from earlier. Are skirts and dresses considered sexy?
I think I think she said it as it's feminine. It's not that she was saying that it's sexy. So I think that's what I got from your answer. There's a difference.
Yeah.
If a woman is wearing a skirt or a dress, is there an additional sex appeal?
That would be my question for you.
Yeah.
Skirts, yes, or short skirts. Long dress, any of them that are shorter.
The more skin you're showing?
Like I wear a maxi dress because it's one article of clothing I have to put on, and I am too lazy to put on pants.
A maxi dress? We're not good with fashion.
It's a dress that is just like a long...
Like a muumuu?
Like a long dress. No, I mean, they're like cute and stuff, but
Neum's
guys are like, ooh, you got all dressed up. And it's like, no, I am too lazy to put pants on right now.
Yeah, Neum's really big into dresses. She doesn't wear them here because she does find that the American style of dressing is a little bit easier. But in Vietnam, for whatever reason, that's what she said. It was just easier. Just throw the dress on and then get out. Didn't have to worry about it. T-shirt, pants, whatever else.
I can tell you one point of confusion with men and women in America. To men, a skirt is short and a dress is long. To a woman, a dress starts at the shoulders and goes down, and a skirt starts at the waist.
A skirt is a bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, so men are confused about this.
Oh, okay.
So when we say skirt or dress, I think we're talking about the length of the garment.
We're talking about the length.
The stupid men, yeah.
Your title, not mine.
Yes. No, we are stupid about dresses.
That's all right. You don't need to know.
Okay.
There's some information, like, we don't all need to know everything. There's only so much room in there.
Yes.
That's fine.
We're too busy thinking about sports.
Yeah.
No, my curiosity was, what makes them sexy? Is it because there's this implied open access? Is there this tantalizing possibility?
I mean, that's a question for you guys. Like you see, so I showed up, from work, so I'm wearing slacks. But if I showed up in a dress, what would the different perception be?
My answer still goes back to if it's showing more skin, then that's sexy. But I think still going back to what I said earlier, Renee's looking at it is just skirt or dress is feminine, not sexy. But you're thinking of sexy.
Yeah. Well, so a girl could be wearing like short shorts, right? Mm-hmm. And there's no implied open access that the dress or the skirt hints at. Or, I mean, you could go back to that Marilyn Monroe movie, right, where the vent blows up her dress. Mm-hmm. That's super pornographic for that time, right?
I mean, I wasn't there, but yeah, I'm assuming.
Or are you trying to say if you get pants, let's say capris that go a little bit past the knees, and then a dress that goes past the knees.
Deep into fashion here.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Are we talking capris or culottes?
I don't even know. What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say what makes a dress that goes past the knees more sexy than capris? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, because I think in the engineering mindset of a man that structurally, like a breeze could blow out. We could see the panties if something happened.
That's what it all boils down to.
If she went upside down for some reason right now,
sometimes we just get inverted for no reason whatsoever.
Gravity inverts.
Yeah,
right. If she sprung a cartwheel right now, I think for the male brain, there is some bait there. There's some.
But then you may want to go into then what makes lingerie sexy versus a bikini. Some women that if they show their underwear, they're really embarrassed, but yet they'll be in a 2-piece bikini and that's fine.
Yeah.
So this is the same. I think kind of similar topic. It's the thought that people think with that topic, meaning if someone's wearing a dress, I guess men will potentially think that's sexy because women and men find a dress feminine, and then men will find that sexy. And same thing for supposedly lingerie versus a bikini. But to me, I find both lingerie and bikini both sexy, but I don't understand how women could decipher the difference.
Because society tells us those rules. Is that what we're saying?
The idea is we've connected.
I thought that's what you're trying to get to. I thought this is the point you're trying to get to.
No, I didn't have a point. I had a legitimate question of.
He's like, why do I find dresses so sexy?
No, am I a pervert, or is this the logical way to think about it?
You're pretty hung up on this skirt dress thing. I
love skirts.
I mean, you're the label maker over here. You got the
look. Ideally, a short skirt with no panties is the most tantalizing.
The most professional thing any woman can wear, and if you want to be taken seriously,
you will be promoted immediately.
Cartwheels,
whatever you're selling, men will buy it.
We know.
I could say with lingerie that typically it's a very thin, lacy fabric. You're not gonna have a denim lingerie, right? So that psychologically is less barrier.
There's a lot of like satin and leather involved.
Leather? Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have, I'm not the authority on lingerie, but.
Oh, I thought of leather as a different category than lingerie.
Something different entirely. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that like choker necklaces are they grab my attention. And I've tried to figure it out. And I think it's because you don't normally wear a choker necklace as a woman. A woman doesn't wear a choker necklace typically unless it's almost an overt communication of I want to be sexy somehow. That's as far as I've gotten on trying to figure this out for, I don't know, 20 years.
Maybe you like control.
So what else do chokers look like?
Control.
I mean, they look like a dog collar. But I don't have a desire to control women.
Do you though?
I don't think so. Like I'm like the opposite of a rapist.
Let's psychologically break down Emmett.
Let's get in there.
Okay, well look, I want a woman to want me. If a woman ever said no or even like I'm not interested, I'd be like, oh, okay. I'd be deflated and defeated.
Sad trombone.
Trombone? Yeah, yes.
Wah, wah.
Yes. I almost need like a cheerleader that's excited about me. That's shouting and can't stop herself from wanting to be on me.
So
I want to be wanted.
Cheerleaders doing cartwheels with no underwear wearing choker collars.
Yeah, I mean that'd be weird to see a cheerleader with a choker.
I don't know. This is your world. I'm
Yeah.
just hanging out here.
But that's the thing. The choker collar is not normal in any setting, right? Is there any place where
the 90s? I would say like the early to mid 90s. That was a like fashion trend.
like a sad emo thing?
Kinda. Well, there was a very like cutesy trend that was going on, like Spice Girls kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so your control on women. Let's go deeper.
I can't control women. I got no power.
maybe that's why you find the choker collar so
Women
attractive.
ignore me at will.
It's a sign of being submissive or something.
I almost see it as a communication.
I don't know if this is close to that. I've once heard some of my gal friends say that they wear boots when they want to go out that night and like advertise to the world that they want to be sexy and they want to
Fuck
meet
me
some.
boots?
Yeah.
Is that what they said?
I think one of them did say that.
Okay.
It's
Now,
a thing.
is a choker necklace close to fuck me boots in any ways from a female's perspective and or any of your female friends?
I don't know. I'm definitely not the authority on women think. So I will say with one of the ways that women can communicate confidence or having some kind of power is just with the way that we dress. So yeah, and the shoes have a lot to do with it for some reason. Maybe it's because like we know we can wear heels and y'all can't. So that's kind of a confidence thing for us. Like if we're wearing, some super sexy stilettos and just like rocking it, makes our legs look great, because it accentuates the calves and the height and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So there probably is something to that being kind of like a power move and just feeling more confident. You exude the confidence. That's always sexy. But yeah.
I've heard some people say that heels is trying to show what's the word I'm looking for, where women are more vulnerable in heels. So it's a vulnerable thing to wear heels.
It can be if you're not good at wearing heels.
Physically from
depending
falling.
on the height of heels. But they're also, they're
like hobbling.
they're gonna be a sexier shoe than like tennies or flats.
Oh yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
Because they're delicate, they're intricate, they have jewels and stuff. And
You could have some very ornate flat shoes, right?
but are they gonna be as sexy as heels?
I like platforms because then I think you get all the advantages of the height with added stability, structurally speaking.
You're just over here from an engineering standpoint.
I'm not even an engineer.
This girl is clearly has it going on.
If you want the height without the instability, go platform.
It's kind of like that party you were talking about earlier where everyone's the same
that's
height.
exactly. Yeah.
That would be weird because I got a friend that's 6'10".
Yeah.
So like I would need a lot of bricks because I also got friends
Just
that are
don't
like
invite those tall motherfuckers.
barely 5 foot. Yeah.
You have your own tall party. Get out of here.
When Ricky was here, we made him sit over there so that me and Earl could look bigger to the camera.
There you go.
Did it work?
Yeah, I think it worked on camera.
Okay. The way this camera is set up, the center seat looks further away.
Yeah, much smaller.
It's like
That's why
Alice
you're
in
over there.
Wonderland where you shrink.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay.
seat of no power.
I will say that I think when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, a woman in business slacks was very attractive. And guessing at why at that time, I was thinking it showed competence of, how do you explain it? She was good at something. She was in the workplace. She was succeeding in the office and dressing. I don't know if you could still be sexy in work slacks. I don't even know how to explain it. There was an attraction to a woman who could achieve in the workplace. Is that a fair?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on what you're attracted to.
Yeah.
There's men that find like women who are successful professionally and confident. They find that a total turnoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no, I think professional achievement and doing something in the world and getting somewhere is awesome. Okay.
What stereotypes are not correct in this man and women's talk that we're talking about? So I think it's right now I can't think of any. So what? Let me rephrase. So between men and women, what stereotypes are incorrect?
In the U.S.?
Just anything. I think this was something that while we were driving in your manly truck the other day with your face on the side,
Was I shouting at women through the window?
No.
Stop crying.
Do a cartwheel.
At the time that it made sense to write this down, it was which stereotypes are not correct. I'm not sure.
Do women cry more? Are women more emotional?
I don't know that women are more emotional, but we're allowed to be more emotional.
So do men bury their emotions more?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We talk about so for a lot of men, you're allowed to show like one big emotion, and that's anger.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're allowed to do. Like men, a lot of times are not allowed to be sad or afraid.
Yeah.
And you still experience those emotions, but you're only allowed to express them as anger.
So if you love somebody, you can still punch them. No?
No.
I found that as I get older, I am more comfortable telling people I love them. Mm-hmm. Whereas a younger man, I didn't feel as comfortable.
Yeah. I think that comes with just like coming into your own and like being more comfortable just with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the work that I do with the men that I work with is like, okay, you know anger, you know that, but there's 20 different kinds of anger that you feel, and what are those actually? And there's a lot of fear of feeling for men. You know, like if I feel sad, am I going to cry and am I going to be judged and viewed as weak?
Yeah.
If I allow myself to feel that. And once like you can actually allow yourself to do that and realize it's not that bad, like, okay, I cried. Ooh.
Right.
You know, it's not that bad.
For me, getting older, I feel like, I'm guessing it's testosterone getting lower. I'm guessing. So like certain movies that my wife will watch, it's so easy to get teary-eyed. And
are you sure you didn't pick it?
when I was in my early 20s, I think there's no way I would have teared up on some of those movies. So growing up, no older male figure told me like, hey, this would happen. Because I think that's very common, I think. So maybe as generations and traditions, as things change, I mean, I'll voice my opinion and tell the younger generation, your testosterone probably is going to come down a little bit, or things are going to get more sensitive and you're going to think differently. But nobody ever told me that growing up. So anyways, I think as age happens for men, that those things naturally change.
Isn't there a very practical thing for a dad to know, hey, you know, practically, I know it's gonna help him if he's tough. It's not gonna help him if he's a sissy. He's not gonna do well. Like, could a dad have that thought, and could he be right? Because this is the world we live in. Could you say, hey, look, I'm not telling the world what it should be. I can tell you what I see out there. And a tough dude's going to do better than Mr. Feelings.
Yeah.
He's going to do better in sports. He's going to do better in the workplace. He's going to go for that promotion, and he's going to...
The only rebuttal I would have on that, I do agree with you. I think in this society where getting money is kind of the ultimate goal, seems like.
Yeah,
for most
get money.
people. So then being aggressive to get that would...
Sorry, did I screw up?
I totally forgot where I was going. So where I'm going with that is the only probably the rebuttal that I would only have is guys that try to emulate that, and they may break down eventually. That's probably the only thing that I could think of that would have a very negative, catastrophic situation.
That there's a lot of stress to living up to some other role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, so nowadays I think there's a lot of, do you know what Twitch is? The gaming?
Yes.
So there's a lot of Twitch, a lot of gaming where dudes will dress up like a cosplay girl and have a ton of
Not aware that this is a thing, but okay.
I mean, they look like chicks. I mean, there's this cross-dressing cosplay Twitch thing. So if you were a tough dad and your son is this cross-dressing Twitch player, that'd be the opposite of what you want. But then if he made a ton of money, then would he be getting to the goal the wrong way?
I guess it would depend on what is the dad's actual goal. Is it to have his son be happy and successful and, you know, enjoying his life, or would it be to live up to the standard that he's set?
Yeah. Yeah. So is implied in success the proper route to success? Like, you can't shortcut to success the wrong way. Are these too deep questions for?
It's not shoots and ladders here.
For a bunch of non-parents.
Right? Everyone's screwing up their kids.
You guys suck at parenting. I do look at life like shoots and ladders. Like, if I can get the shortcut.
Right? Where is that ladder? But then you're going to fall down that big slide.
Oh.
I sucked at that game. I mean, I know there wasn't like skill involved, but. And then I was like, ooh, slides, wee. And I was like, oh, wait, no.
So having fun in life is being a loser.
I guess.
That's what we learned from.
Great at slides, though.
I can slide into failure quickly.
All right, you guys want to talk about cryptocurrency for a bit? Did you have some, we could jump back to the psychology stuff at any time too, but was there some cryptocurrency questions? I want to make sure we have enough time for that.
So I guess the thing that I've been struggling with And I've been trying to get my old accounts back, and that's been fun.
I'm just gonna. We could still talk about aliens living in a simulation, and also I had a psychology question later. Is there something better suited than this concrete jungle? But anyways, let's do crypto for a little bit.
That's like a preview
question.
right there. You just
I know,
tantalized the audience. Up next,
Coming up.
All right,
Stay tuned.
Sorry. I cut
after
you off.
Renee's cryptocurrency
So
talk.
here's the thing that I'm struggling with right now, because I've talked with you. I've talked with some of my other friends that have been more like on the investing side and then are applying that to crypto. I can't figure out how to get my money where it needs to go. Like, I have a bank account, I have this crypto account, and they're like, hey, do you want to buy this? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you need to have this thing that you don't have. And then like I did a wallet thing, and
Yeah, MetaMask.
Are
you're just making stuff up now.
no, that's actually real.
Oh my
but
God.
are you
It's
on?
not even a word.
It looks like Star Fox.
Yeah.
Are you on Gemini or Coinbase?
I have Coinbase.
Coinbase. So there should be a place to set up your bank account, and then you can transfer. You could bank transfer money to Coinbase, and then if you transfer like say $200, then you'll have 200 USD to buy
And sell.
Yeah.
So then there's like these other, because of course I have like 8 different.
Wait, so you're saying you have Coinbase?
I have Coinbase.
And you have it connected to your real world?
Yeah,
bank
and they
account?
charge like a fee, right?
Who?
They-
Coinbase?
Coinbase.
They'll charge a fee when you buy. So say you bring in $200.
Yeah.
I don't think they charge anything on that. When you buy Ethereum, if you buy $200 worth of Ethereum, they'll probably charge you like I don't know, maybe $10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get 190.
Okay. So I have.
Is that similar across the exchanges?
As far I've between I think Gemini, Coinbase, and I think Kraken, I've tested those and they're like to the penny the same exact fee.
Because if anybody undercut, then everybody would flock to the cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. Yep. I think for a while, it seemed like Gemini was if I remember correctly, Gemini was the cheapest back then.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. They probably figured out their own supply and demand on that.
Well, I think that because there's only 3 of them, unless you count Binance US, but they're currently in trouble. Are they currently?
No, I think they're good. Binance US.
So you have 3 or 4 US exchanges where you can bring US money in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's easy to realize if they have a race to the lowest fees that they're all going to end up
at the same.
Yeah, and that happened with all the stock exchange, like E-Trade, Scottrade, whatever else, Vanguard. I think there was a race to the lowest fees, and they're like, we could have made more money if we'd all held to our higher fees. So it's not, you wouldn't even need like an overt collusion. It'd be an easy realization for 3 companies to go, hey,
Yeah.
if we cut the knees out, we're all going to hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess once I put money into the Coinbase and I buy coin with that, can I trade with different platforms?
So it depends on, so Coinbase has a pretty decent selection nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be like only 3 coins in there. Then they went to 12 coins. And I think they're now at like 30 or 40 coins.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want to do. If you specifically want a certain coin that's not available on Coinbase, then I'll work with you to do that. So what you would have to do,
So can you move your coin? So your money is sitting in Coinbase. Say you bought Ethereum or Bitcoin with it.
Mm-hmm.
You would now have $190 worth of Ethereum. Then would you have to move that to a off Coinbase wallet?
So depending if there's some coin, say freaking Shiba coin, fucking the dog coin, the number 2 dog coin. If you wanted that I think
Shiba coin is the knockoff of Doggy coin.
Yeah. So Shiba, I'm guessing is probably not on Coinbase. I'm guessing. So if you wanted to really buy that, you'd have to get onto an exchange that has Shiba coin. So you'd have to create whatever exchange that is. Whatever. Say Bittrex is the exchange. You would have to get the ETH from Coinbase to your Bittrex, and then you could trade on Bittrex your ETH for Shiba.
So how does one do that? Do you have to like get one of these wallet things and put it in there, or you just trade across?
You could send it across. It would be a withdrawal of ETH from your Coinbase account, and then you would deposit, you would send it to your Bittrex wallet. So each exchange, you're going to have like a wallet address.
Yeah.
And then you would supply that when you're withdrawing from Coinbase. You would supply the wallet address of the Bittrex one.
So then there's these things that are just a wallet. Are those kind of like
those just
null and
wallets
void now? Or
what was that?
Like are they still relevant?
An offline wallet?
So
Is that what we're talking about?
that's where it would most likely go. For those type of wallets, is most people would probably use that for offline wallets. So meaning, let's just use the example. Say if you bought that $190 on Coinbase and Coinbase bellies up and runs with it, you would lose that $190 worth of ETH.
You're trusting Coinbase to hold your $190 worth of ETH.
So if by chance you don't trust Coinbase for whatever reason, you could download something like MetaMask, which is a ETH wallet, and then you'd have your MetaMask wallet and you would withdraw from your Coinbase to your MetaMask, and then you could just hold your MetaMask wallet so that if Coinbase bellies up, they don't take your $190 worth of ETH.
Okay.
Is it correct to say that offline wallet lives on the blockchain?
That's technically correct. Everyone will call it an offline wallet. The offline piece is a lot of people will take that private key and put it only on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So the air gap, there's no digital way to get to that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it an offline wallet, because there's an air gap between it. I don't know.
So while your Ethereum is at Coinbase, you're trusting Coinbase not to screw you, which is pretty safe bet. But conceivably, Coinbase could get hacked. Somebody could hack into the exchange and grab your money. So we don't know what happens then. But if you moved it to this offline wallet, then only you have the incredible mathematical password that basically nobody in the universe can ever get to without your password. But once you've moved it to your wallet, now you can go to any exchange. Especially with a coin like Ethereum or Bitcoin, almost every exchange is going to accept those, right? Is going to use those coins. The reason we start at Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, or Binance US is because those are the only 4 exchanges where you can bring your US dollars in.
Okay.
The easiest
that makes sense.
The easiest of the 4.
Yeah. I think that's where I was getting confused, because I was looking at some of these other, like just other weird ass apps. And I'm like, yeah, I want to buy that. And they're like, you need this thing that's not real money. And I'm like, I don't know how. But
Gotcha.
okay. So that makes more sense.
Was there friends telling you which coins to buy or something?
No, they're just like, hey, I use this platform or this one. And, just to like experiment and play around and stuff.
Gotcha.
So.
Just looking for the manliest looking coins.
Yes.
It's a Ford Raptor.
The tallest coins.
RPTR. Yeah. Now I'm looking for skirt coin.
I'd buy it. Sold.
You should see if there's a coin, and if not, like, we're making skirt coin.
Can only go up.
People will buy it for no reason whatsoever. To the moon.
The way it's been going lately, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
Any other crypto questions?
I'm just trying to get my old accounts back.
Did by chance, did that work out where I told you to?
I contacted them and kind of went through the steps, and I've followed up with them and be like, hey, so where's my old money? And I haven't heard back from them. So I think I just need to keep pounding them.
Yeah, okay.
And then my old Binance is stuck in Binance, not US.
So if anybody's watching, if you happen to lose your Coinbase email address and password,
If you're extra dumb.
if you lost
Extra secure.
if you lost your email address also. So what you can do, if your bank account is still the same, what you can do is contact their support, and hopefully their support will ask you, okay, your last chance is if you do something. Did they ask you to send money from your bank account, or did they ask any?
They asked me to verify the bank account.
Okay, they
so basically they asked me to give them as much information about the previous account as I could, set up a new account, and verify the bank account.
Okay.
So I've done all of that, and they were like, if we can, verify that this is still you, then we'll find your old stuff.
Yeah. So from what I read online, someone, if I remember correctly, they also had to do a withdrawal. they had to send money from their bank account to Coinbase, so that Coinbase help desk could also say, okay, if you're able to send money out from that account, that really is you, and that's the same account from the one that you lost the email address to, and then they were able to give all the funds to that person, supposedly.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll get there.
Yeah, we'll see.
They just don't want some Romanian dude to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Romania. They don't want some
random hacker.
Ugandan.
What's a country we don't care about at all?
They don't want a North Korean guy.
Us Canadians, I tell you.
Fucking Canadians.
Sketchy Canadians.
Are there Canadian hackers?
Well, there's probably hackers in all places, but I haven't heard of.
They just
any
apologize.
major one.
You're like, hey, sorry.
Very sorry about stealing your money.
We're just going to take all your coin here.
They're pretending to be Russian.
So sorry about it.
All right. Any other crypto questions before we jump?
Well, so if you ever took your money off of an exchange to an offline wallet, if you lose your password, you're toast. That's it. You alone have the password. So if there is a certain safety to trusting the exchange with your money a little bit, there's a backup there, right? There's a trade-off.
I usually tell my friends what your comfort have tiers of comfort level where you. For me, I tell people my comfort level is about $1,000 to $2,000 on a centralized exchange like Coinbase. But other people might be really rich and they're like $50,000.
Chump change.
Yeah. So it depends on what your
rich
comfort.
friends.
It depends on the comfort level, and then the next level is get it to a offline wallet, and then even to the next level, if you're really if you have enough money that you want to put a lot of effort to, is punch keys into metal cards so that it's fireproof, electric proof, fire, water, electric proof,
Lightning?
and lightning. Yeah. Electric.
Even
lightning.
magma.
No. Well, volcano would kill it.
magma.
Probably
Yeah. Yellowstone eruption would kill it.
Wait, so if you put the metal card into a styrofoam boat, no, it'd have to be a lava-proof boat that would float. You need a lava-proof submarine.
I don't know if there's a such thing.
Sorry. I thought I was on
What
something.
other questions do you have, Lynn?
All right. Do we want to do the aliens living in simulation, or is there something better suited than this concrete jungle? You guys choose.
What do you...
I saw a news article that there's some electric car company. It's not a ton of cars, but they make, I don't know, dozens or hundreds of cars a year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, hey, there's a bunch of computers sitting on this electric car. When you park it, we just put the program on there so it'll mine cryptocurrency while it's parked. So presumably it has an internet connection and a bunch of computers sitting on the car. So it says while you're in Neiman Marcus buying high heels, it'll make cryptocurrency. Presumably not a lot, but it's doing something while it's sitting there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just sitting there.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's pretty cool. I would imagine the hardware probably can't keep up with the times. Just unfortunately, I feel like CPUs and or GPUs on a car probably won't be as powerful as modern, because GPUs are just so fast, and it's each year it just gets faster and faster. So a car won't be able to keep
it's
up with that.
some small companies, so presumably they could have like last year's computers.
So it's kind of like just their gimmick.
Yeah, it's probably more a gimmick than actual.
Or
I mean, it's probably
if you
you're
love
getting
the concept,
something,
right?
You know.
Even if it was $10 a month or something.
Well, and even when it just like the concept of it.
Yeah. Well, because like say Ethereum mining, video cards that you bought 4 years ago, they start hitting a place where it's the hash rate is so tough on the Ethereum blockchain that it's more, you're going to pay more in electricity than what you gain, oddly. So the new video card is much better, much faster, and much better in power efficiency. So that's actually there's a big factor in power efficiency for these GPU miners.
So we need this car to have a solar panel on it.
Yes. Oh, so they have that. So
no, I'm just saying that would be the next logical.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Fisker did? They have a solar panel on the roof.
I think so.
Karma.
I think the general consensus is with the efficiency of current solar panels, it's hard to have a panel on your roof that collects enough electricity to make a difference to the car battery.
But
Like you can get a few percent, but not.
Another gimmick.
Yeah. Another one of those love the concept kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Renee, pick one of the three. Aliens. Simulation or concrete jungle?
Talk about aliens.
Simulated aliens?
So do you think aliens exist?
I think statistically they have to.
Emmett?
Are we defining aliens as life that did not originate on Earth?
Because there's so many theories on that an asteroid hit Earth, and then that probably helped an asteroid with some type of DNA probably started life
And
on
we're
Earth.
aliens. That's my theory. It's a rough theory.
I'm okay with that. No, well, I mean, we're familiar. So DNA, all life on Earth has DNA. Is that correct?
I think.
Does algae have DNA?
Oh,
Does algae count as alien, or are you thinking intelligent aliens?
I would think in any form of life if I was going to ask this question, I would say any form of life.
So you would count algae on Pluto?
I would. I don't know if the Bible thumping Christians, Bible thumping religious people would care enough about that.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be aliens versus Christians?
I feel
That's how it goes down. You're not you didn't know this?
My bias agenda is I love the idea if we did find algae on another planet, Pluto.
That we see Jesus' face in it?
No. That
It's only the alien toast.
that religious people would hopefully
that's your TikTok clip right there.
that hopefully that religious people would be like, oh, maybe religion isn't right. Maybe there is life on other planets.
I think you're giving religious people too much credit for being logical. Like to say alien life somewhere else disproves my religion here. There's already plenty of logic against religion now.
Yeah, true.
So I don't think that additional piece of information would change anything for religion.
I think it would just again become wrapped up in the beliefs that
Yeah.
They'd find some way to still deny that God doesn't exist.
Yeah. But I think even if we're talking about like intelligent life, the way that we view it, like creatures with consciousness, I think considering how many stars are in the visible universe, how many of those stars have a planetary system around them?
Billions.
Yeah, even with the
Trillions.
the very, very special circumstances under which our planet had in order to create life, I think it is like statistically not possible that
Zillions.
that doesn't exist anywhere else in the universe.
Yeah.
There are quadrillions of other planets duplicate to Earth.
How many zeros is that?
I don't even know. I was just making shit up. I'm not that mathematical.
Are we gonna find alien? Are we gonna encounter aliens in our lifetime?
I don't know. I think if they've discovered us, they just kind of did an about face and we're like, nah.
What do you think about the UFO stuff recently? There's a lot of UFOs.
There's always a lot of UFO stuff.
I feel like more than, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like more than the last 10 years, I guess.
I've been in America 44 years. There's always a lot of UFO stuff.
Like the Tic Tac flying thing on the, I think there was some I'm trying to think, Air Force they're flying and they got it on radar. There's like this tiny Tic Tac flying like super, super fast. And the
Tic Tac?
A size
Extraterrestrial Tic Tac.
It was the shape of a Tic Tac flying super fast, but the Tic Tac's super far. In the video, it's super far, so up close it'd be much bigger. But in the video, it's the size of a Tic Tac. And
like if you like in the real world, it would be the size of a bus. Tic Tac.
The pilot spit a Tic Tac out a window, and
I don't know if they ever talked about what size it would be if they brought.
Okay.
But in the video, it's the size of a Tic Tac, and it's flying super fast. And they're saying it seems like that Tic Tac was definitely aware of them. Mm-hmm. And then the government has come out and said this to them is a unidentified flying object. Mm-hmm. And the government confirmed that it's a UFO. But UFO in the sense of is it an alien? They're just saying it's a UFO.
Yeah. Because technically UFO is just, I mean, I could throw this and until you're aware it's a cup being thrown at you, it's unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
Ooh, think fast.
Wah! UFO coming at you. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that like, and I'm not like saying that I agree or disagree either way with like us being visited. But like, why has the video quality not got any better in the last like 60 years of UFO sightings?
Yeah.
Like we can create, like you could be created digitally, and yet we still have the grainiest videos of like the flying hat. I don't know.
Yeah,
That-
I agree
have
with
that's
that.
always an issue for me.
We have billions of 10 megapixel videos of tacos, but
And
no
yet,
good. No
this
good
Tic Tac
photos.
is still a Tic Tac. Like, come on.
I think I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson address that one time, and he said, unidentified flying object explains it all. It's a flying object, unidentified. We don't know what it is. That's where that ends for me, because until I have more information, until I have more data, it is incorrect to jump to the conclusion we must be being visited by intelligence with spacecraft. There's probably some more likely explanation. It would even be more likely that the U.S. military has some
That's what I was exactly
technological drone or satellite or airplane that can do amazing things. They're not going to tell you about it. They're going to say, I don't know.
thinking. Yeah.
We don't know what that is.
Stealth technology? Oh, well, it doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
Stop pointing your radar over there,
Yeah.
please.
I think if there is some kind of other form of intelligent life, I don't think it would be the way that we I don't think it's going to be some like gray biped creature that's about the same size as us and has roughly the same technology. It's just
And
shinier.
really likes anal probes.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, let's find out what this does. I mean, that's probably what ocean creatures think of us. They're like, what is with these
Yeah.
biped creatures and probing? Like that's that's our flaw. But I think, I mean, maybe they are like this big and fly around in Tic Tacs, and they're not carbon based, or I don't know.
Do you think on a psychological standpoint, humans are kind of predispositioned to think that there are aliens?
I don't know. I think some yes, some no. Because there's the chunk of people that, like the very religious people that, we are special, we're created, just us, nobody else. I think there's a lot of resistance to the idea that there's other intelligent life and that we're not like chosen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think also like the universe is just like immeasurable to our human brains. Like we cannot fathom everything that goes on, So I think that we also, for those of us that are on the other side of that line, like we don't want to feel like we're alone or
No, I
like
disagree.
there's
I
no
fathom
meaning to life.
everything. I understand it all.
Everything. Fathom it all.
I have a theory that people are vulnerable to entertaining ideas. If it's entertaining, we have trouble letting go of it. And to disbelieve it is to let go of it. So by believing in it, then you can hold on to that entertaining idea. Like, it's wildly entertaining to think something could be visiting us, right? What could it be? It's a mystery and an excitement, a promise of future technology, a promise of either conflict or threat or some utopian future, whatever that fantasy represents to each person. That's so enthralling that how can you just say, yeah, probably not. Mm-hmm. So in the same way, even something like gossip, right? Oh, did you hear that at the office this guy was sleeping with that chick?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
juicy.
Yeah, but then you'll talk about it and you'll repeat it, even though it's just a rumor. It becomes this big thing. And I think entertainment has a value. It's this weird kind of pattern that I'm seeing in human behavior, that there's a lot of things you can point to that the entertainment is the utility of it. I would even say the Bible is a collection of entertaining stories. They're wild stories, right? Some dude put all the animals of the earth onto a boat.
Except the unicorns. They were playing.
Yes. You missed the unicorns.
I know.
So, like, those things take root in the human mind, And in a way, we can't let go of these fantastic things because the world's kind of boring if you let go of all the fantasies, right?
Yeah, no, that's interesting, and I agree with that because I think that is what, like, if you think about people's obsession with winning the lottery.
Well, I mean,
Even
there is a
though
real winner.
There is, but is there? Because the likelihood is so small, and people will usually, spend tons on trying to win the lottery, and the vast majority of people that win these like huge jackpots, most of them have lost their money or are dead within like 5 years or something like that.
It's a lot of cocaine.
Like it actually ruins people, but still there's this fantasy of winning the lottery, and it's the entertainment of it. It's the fantasy of it. It's idea.
I used to live in California, and I would spend a little bit on the lottery.
Just a little bit?
I would spend the minimum for each draw, right? I would spend $1 or $2 if I was at a gas station or something. So for a long time, it was $1 a week or something, right? Mm-hmm. Or $2 a week. So then if you think about that, that's like $100 a year. And to me, I was like, yeah, I know I'm probably not going to win, but I want the chance. And I feel like what I'm buying with this dollar is the fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'll never own a golden helicopter. But with this ticket, I can almost own the golden helicopter.
You can own a piece of that fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, it's like gambling. Like you go to the casino with the understanding you're probably going to lose most of your money, if not all of it.
No, they think they're going to win.
You justify it with, I'm at least getting this, 2 hours of entertainment at the craps table.
I don't think people are that rational.
If you have a healthy...
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, the unhealthy way is going into it of, I'm going to beat the house or I'm going to actually win the lottery.
Money back.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's also like the fantasy.
Yeah. So that's why I don't gamble in a casino, because say if you win...
Only in back alleys?
What? No, I mean like a
Three
big
guys named Mo
jackpot is attractive to me. But if I won 20 grand or even 40 grand, I still have to show up to work the next day, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe you could buy a car, but it doesn't change your life.
Yeah.
In some fantastic
like
way.
Millions would.
Yeah. So I think for me, the lottery is substantially different in that I'm never going to buy 40 lottery tickets at once. Mm-hmm. I'll just buy one to pay for the fantasy and the chance. I don't know. That's how I see it.
Randomly, my thought is it rooted in something paranoia or exploration, to whether it be gambling, lottery, and or aliens, in the sense of, for us to be paranoid, we're fearful of some animal back in the past when we're cavemen, an animal may come up and kill us, so we have to be paranoid.
Yeah.
Is there some rooted human brain thing that's going on to make us attached to aliens and gambling? That's a question for you, Renee.
Wow.
Well, it's weird to put aliens and gambling in the same question.
It's still, I think it's the imagination. It's the same thing. Well, I think it's similar.
No,
yeah,
I've seen it. They give the guy a big check. And then people hound him and harass him.
Yeah. Watch
and all your
fire in the
relatives
sky.
come out of the woodwork.
Statistically, you will not win the lottery. And then statistically,
I will get anal probed.
Yeah. Exactly.
Much better odds.
So go with that one.
So is it something in the human brain that's paranoia or exploration that causes us to think that way?
I don't know. I think it's kind of the entertainment factor, the living into the fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's just kind of my guess.
Yeah.
Seems to be more the motivator.
All right. Living in a simulation. What do you guys think about that? Is it aliens controlling a simulation and we're stuck in it?
What a boring simulation.
Yeah.
Like, why are carbs a thing in the simulation? Can they just,
why can't I be the rich guy?
Why is cellulite a thing in the simulation?
Why is everything that tastes good bad for me?
I know. It has
Where's
a
my
meal function. Golden helicopter. Yeah. I don't know. I do think it's an interesting idea. Like when the Truman Show came out, I'm sure I was not the only person like, I always thought this was my life.
What was the, was it, he was the star of a sitcom and he didn't know?
Yeah. His whole life was basically a reality show and he didn't know.
Yeah. Was he a wildly entertaining star of the Truman Show, or was he a normal dude?
He's boring.
And then
kind of a
somehow
boring guy.
everybody wanted to watch the boring dude?
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess that further proves that this could be a simulation.
What happened when he escaped?
He just kind of left. Show.
And the world didn't care?
Did you never see The Truman Show?
I actually haven't seen it either.
What?
Sorry.
I only
Way
saw
to
one
ruin the
scene where
premise.
like he was knocking on the wall and it looked like a painting of the sky or something.
Yeah.
Is that his actual escape?
Yeah, so basically like this whole dome thing it's a great movie. You should just watch it. It's a Ron Howard film, so there you go. It's going to be great. You're going to get a little misty-eyed.
Yes.
But yeah, he was born live on air and his whole life was just
A sham.
this TV show. Like his friends were actors, his family. It was interesting, but very good. But I think a lot of us have had that, like, is my life just a joke? And I wonder if that's kind of a similar thought process as this whole like fantasy of aliens and the lottery. Like this can't be all that my life is about. Like my life cannot be just this mundane thing where I go to this job that's like kind of okay to kind of pay my bills mostly. And
Oh, is that a vanity fantasy to want to think that I'm special and
yeah,
I'm important somehow?
yeah, and like there's more to you than
Yeah.
what you are right now, right?
Yeah.
Because like we all kind of want to be like we all want to be special
Yeah.
in our own
I'm not.
special way, but you want to be.
I wear jeans,
As evidenced by Raptor.
but only a little bit special.
Only a little
not,
bit special.
Not so abnormal.
Not super special.
I would never paint it neon green.
Okay, good.
That would be too weird and get too much attention.
And not manly enough. But it would definitely still say bro.
To the literal monster truck crowd.
Yeah.
On a, I heard
to name it
on
Kyle.
some, I think it was some religious person trying to argue that, they're trying to say that if religion doesn't exist, then what's morality for? So meaning, if I'm living in either a simulation or not, if this wasn't a simulation and this is just a bunch of random atoms hitting each other and this life came about, so then morality, I could just go and kill you, take your wallet, and then there's nothing.
I think in the long run, cooperative action works, where that sort of murderous selfishness will not succeed in the long run. If you are recklessly greedy,
Okay. So what about intelligently greedy?
you become a CEO.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
So then if we're, if I believe that religion, that there is no God, I don't know if I believe that we're in a simulation or not. I'm okay either way because I don't have a choice. If I'm in a simulation, for now, I don't have a way to get out that I know of.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed if we are.
That's
all.
It's
I'm like,
pretty lame.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Why do I have hair growing on my butthole?
Yeah.
That's not a good place for
Awful
it.
simulation.
So
Is somebody being amused by my discomfort?
By your hairy butthole?
Yeah. I don't need it there.
None of us do.
well, that was
There's salons that can help you with that.
it was evolutionary if we look at the science.
Is it to keep bugs out of my butthole?
It was
To keep you from stop putting your finger in there.
It's not hairy enough.
It's
to
not
block
working
my
though.
finger.
It's trying to keep stuff out of it.
I think we watched a documentary where they say it's to amplify the funk, the smell, because
No, that's
then-
armpits.
But I think it was just. I think
That is how dogs greet each other.
Dogs sniff
Smelling
butts.
butts.
Mm-hmm.
So why aren't women attracted to my hairy butt?
Culturally, we've
Because you're wearing these pants all the time.
So if I wear a skirt
You wear a skirt,
and let my butt odors waft,
they will come crawling,
I have an
cartwheeling over to you.
That's what I've been doing all along. I've been doing it wrong.
All right, I'm changing the topic on you guys. Is there something better suited than this concrete jungle?
I think we just disproved the simulation. Like, who in their right mind would create this simulation then, right?
I think back to what we're.
I mean, unless the whole point is to prove to us that they wouldn't possibly put us in such a terrible simulation.
I mean, it's a lot of work to create such a terrible simulation.
It is. And what would be the point of having us in a simulation?
unless you enjoyed the suffering of simulated, concocted beings.
You know, like what are the creatures that have put us in this simulation? Is it like other humans just messing with us? Is it these Tic Tac creatures?
It's the Tic Tac motherfuckers.
Tic Tac assholes.
Okay, so my question is there something better than this concrete jungle? What I mean by that, when I look at American society, the consumerism, working 9 to 5, all the mass shootings, I feel like something's not right. Mm-hmm. If I were to ask you, if I gave you a magic wand, but you can't use the magic wand and just say everyone's happy. Mm-hmm. How would you build a world that's better than this concrete jungle?
No pressure.
All right. I am solely responsible for
from
this.
a psychological standpoint, maybe.
I think we need
just
to
don't be crazy.
Yeah, just don't be crazy. Just nobody's crazy. But like everybody's perception of what makes them happy is different, right? Everybody's perception of success is going to be different. Everybody has a different, yardstick for how they measure these things. So I think just having a more well-rounded foundation helps out. Like we work these 9 to 5s, some of us, but like
Liem.
for the majority of us, like we work these jobs so that we can get paid, so that we can eventually take time off and just go camping or something. Well, instead of just
I'm even more, but I work the job so I can buy an Arby's sandwich.
Yeah, right. Just so I can eat.
Yeah.
But that's what people like, save for, and I can't wait to use my vacation days, and I'm gonna go do something super simple out in the middle of nowhere that I could be doing all the time anyway, and just not have a job and just go live in the woods. So I think we need to somehow reintegrate more of the simple things and the appreciation for them. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but like just having the time to, making that part of just kind of our society, part of our culture, that, we don't work.
You mean be more like Europe?
To the bone. Yeah. Like they're what, the 4-day work week.
I could tell you there's no Ford Raptors in Europe.
It's just
there's a trade-off.
Well, they don't have room. Their roads are like this big. And the Raptors like this big. I'm sure Top Gear bought one over at one point. Let's be honest.
There's a couple guys in Scandinavia.
Yeah, they had
that are in the Facebook group. And we're like, hello from Sweden or wherever.
Hello, yeah.
Hello from Norway.
You want to buy a Lego set?
I agree with you, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Do it.
If we were to appreciate the smaller things, but then we got what seems like human nature to want Instagram type things. We want the big, we want something super nice. We want the expensive thing. We want to show off and take pictures of it. How does that fit into that?
Yeah. I think a lot of that is just like the human competitive, like we're naturally just kind of competitive, right? Where it's biological for us. We're still competing for resources, even though we have them. And the resource is attention.
If somebody buys a fancy donut and they post it on their Instagram and they want a lot of people to see it and like it, right? Is that some kind of competition, or is it sometimes people just want to share the joyous things in their life?
I think a lot of times that it is the attention.
Yeah.
It's look at this amazing donut that I'm having, even if that's not like the conscious drive.
Yeah.
I think it is. Because if you really just want to I genuinely want to share this moment, you're going to split that donut with somebody and just have it and not make a public thing about it.
Or buy a normal donut.
Or just buy a dozen normal donuts for the same price. And
No. I mean, I can understand most people wanting a fancy donut. Mm-hmm. Like if you had a choice between a dozen regulars and the best, an amazing looking donut.
Creme brulee donut.
I could see. Yeah.
Shout out Pink Box. We don't have a sponsorship yet. If you want to sponsor us, just let me know.
We can put a box of donuts on every show. Yeah. So is there an element of wanting to share the good things in my life with other people?
I think there is. and like the avenue that you do that, the way you go about that. You know, like there's the humble brag is a thing.
What do you define as the, like I gave donuts to a homeless person?
Yeah.
Really?
like something like that. Or, you know, and you're not just making the gesture, you're telling the world about it.
Yeah. Maybe giving money to charity and then making a big deal of it. Maybe that's your example.
Like I have this friend and, you know, he does a lot of generous things, but he makes sure that everybody knows I did this generous thing. Look at my wife feeding stray animals. She's so generous. Post hashtag. You know, so it's the act is there and that's cool, but there's also the look at me.
Is it better to have the attention whore philanthropist than none at all?
I mean, I guess if we must have attention whores, let there be philanthropy behind it instead of just, you know, the butt enhancing yoga pants that I hate. You know, the scrunchy butt yoga pants? I don't know. That's
boys
that are like all over.
Cut? Is it called a Brazilian cut?
No, they're just like, they have like dimples all over them.
Oh.
And they're supposed to, like, if you don't have an ass, make it look like you have an ass, and they don't.
Yeah. I'm not into big butts. I cannot lie.
Just cannot lie.
Nope.
Cannot lie about it.
I like butts.
But I come from I come from a view that athletic is sexy. So the more athletic somebody is, the more attractive that is. Like if somebody is like a track and field hurdler, that's a lot more attractive to me than somebody with an abnormally large butt. Because if I see a big butt, I just see fat that is collected on your butt.
He just keeps going back to this. You having a dry spell here?
No, this is what men think about all the time.
It's all skirts and butts and cartwheels.
I didn't say skirts. I was thinking of a naked butt.
Not yoga pants or okay.
I mean, yeah, yoga pants are great.
But the scrunchy ones is what we're talking about here.
What's the scrunchy? Okay, so it enhances the butt.
That's the cell, which it doesn't. I mean, if you don't have an ass, you don't have an ass. No amount of scrunches anywhere is going to make you grow an ass.
Okay.
That happens in the gym.
Yeah.
That's just me.
What were we talking about before that?
I totally
what were we talking about before butts?
I totally forgot.
You were talking about like something.
We're so easily derailed.
I know, man. Let's just talk about Legos again. It was really cool set. Yeah, they really don't. Pancakes.
Attention whore philanthropists.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's weird? I pay a little bit of attention to social media. I have a Facebook and I have an Instagram. I feel like an older guy trying to keep up, but the interest to me is to see what other people are doing. I'm aware that there's a world around us, all these Americans, and they're spending all their time doing this stuff. So the interest to me is to try to understand what they're doing. Because obviously it's taking up a lot of their time and energy. Is it something as simple as vanity? I mean, the great irony of it is they're using the cutting edge technology of mobile microprocessors in your pocket that communicate with satellites. This is literally a bleeding edge technology. You're using it to do something like posting a picture of your donut. So that's fascinating to me to try to understand the behavior. And I think what I'm seeing now is people that post on social media all the time because they see other people doing it and they're just doing what they think they're supposed to do. They're doing what other people do.
Yeah.
It almost seems mindless in that they have no intention other than to just do what other people do.
Yeah. Like when you, I don't know. I'm sure most people have this like friend that you go out to dinner with and they have to take pictures of the meal. Like you're not allowed to eat your meal before I take a picture of it. And like, it's so ingrained. It's just like, I have to share this piece of my life.
Yeah.
You know? And then we have the other friend that goes, nobody gives a shit about what you're eating. I'm like, you're correct there.
So is it just as basic as that person wants attention?
I think it kind of is. I mean, that's the way of communicating your life with people. That's the connection. That's the form of connection for some people.
Yeah.
You know, I always feel weird posting stuff because I'm like, nobody gives a shit. Like,
I would care what you ate for dinner.
What I ate for dinner. Nobody like, you know, but then people do. And I don't know. I have a weird relationship with social media.
The one I remember from today was a dude I used to work with. I never saw him as an old dude, but his daughter just graduated high school. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That dude's old enough to have a daughter that, yeah, I guess he is that old. He's late 30s. And I'm assuming, whatever. But so he was so happy and he wanted to share that his daughter finished high school. Yeah. So is that a healthier sharing?
I would say, yeah. I mean, there's still a degree of attention seeking, right?
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to know that this is what's going on in my life. And I don't think that that's always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because again, that's just connecting with other people. And, you know, you have all these people that you knew from back in the day, and it's not like you go out to dinner and catch up all the time. So that's your way of catching up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more just, we all just kind of like push it out on the table instead of like asking other people what's going on.
But if somebody's daughter gets a DUI, you don't post that, right?
Usually not. I mean, some families with a different sense of humor might toss that mugshot on there and be like, oh, little Janie's first arrest. look at her go.
Okay,
right.
So then did we establish that social media you typically post positive things? Is that a rule? Is that a social
positive because it gets attention? Well, yeah,
I think there is a positivity bias, right? Because it's a reflection of your life and you want that to look good, you know? And then there's people with like very unhealthy attachments that put up the like sigh, you know?
But
like
what?
They'll just put up a post that says like sigh or like, you know, oh, things are tough or, you know, just kind of something generic.
Don't ask me about my day.
Yeah, to probe with stuff like that, which is unhealthy and annoying.
Can we literally say from a mental health perspective that
it is super unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Don't.
Because I've seen people
and
do
annoying.
that, right?
Yeah. Like if.
And fucking annoying.
It is, because it is. It's just, I want you to ask me what's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just being an adult and saying, hey, you know what? I had a shit day. Hey, I'm struggling with this. You know, like that has more emotional maturity than just being like, sad, gasp.
That's part of the entertaining drama of our lives, right?
Right? Yeah.
All right, we're going to go do the final questions. I think you're the first guest to do a part 3. So you get the first.
Do I get like a hat or something?
Three-time champion.
I get donuts.
First question. What is the meaning of life?
Procreation. I don't know. There is none to get probed.
I'll buy you donuts anytime.
Buying donuts. And then you get probed. Sounds like a deal.
It's not a requirement.
Sounds like a deal.
Let me trim first.
Everything is cream filled. All right, going too far.
Second question. Give me a story of achievement.
Story of achievement. Oof.
And I think when I wrote this means a story of one of your achievements.
My own achievements? Yeah. I don't know. I made it through the day without crapping myself. Not that that's a normal thing, but you know, we're looking for gratitude. Sometimes you got to
wait till you get 75 years old. That's going to be a daily thing.
Exactly. Like this won't always be.
Have you ever crapped your pants as an adult?
Yeah.
Like out of like you were scared shitless, or
no?
It was a shart.
More like medical issues.
Oh, okay.
You know, probably.
I think I sharted a couple of years ago.
I probably have.
That seems.
At a conversation.
I gotta go home now.
I've had this conversation more than once with like one of my patients.
Yeah.
You know, because they take a lot of risks in their lives. You know, abusing
like
drugs
heroin?
and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
And some of them, you know, do have gambling disorders. And one kid was like, you know, I make a lot of gambles with my life, but I will never gamble on a fart. And I was like, that is some wise words there. Never gamble on a fart.
Hold it.
So that's your answer. Okay. I was waiting for something more. Sorry.
I know, you're looking for deep stuff today. I came in kind of with an empty
You want to appreciate the simple things in life, but you didn't shit your pants today.
What was the question?
Give me a story of achievement.
Do you have any achievements that you're especially proud of?
Yeah, a lot of times, like, this has been kind of my recent thing. Getting all personal now. Get in there. Like just being frustrated, you know, just as a person who is starting to notice the effects of aging, you know, on my body and, you know, tick with the clock going on and stuff. And, looking at some of my friends being like, oh, I'm not as successful as they are. I don't have the things that they have, and taking a moment to just kind of pause and like look at my own life and be like, you know what? I bought my own house. Nobody helped me out with it at all. I own one vehicle outright and a quarter of another one, nobody's helped me out with that. So just being able to achieve things on my own without all the things that I've been told I need to have, like parents helping you out with money, having a husband to help you out with money, stuff like that. So that's something I've been reflecting on.
Collecting material assets.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I love my car, man.
Well, because a European would be very happy in a little apartment, right?
Yeah.
And drinking small cups of coffee.
Yeah. And
with fancy cheeses.
I mean, I do like my cheese.
Have you had Irish cheddar?
Yeah. The coastal Irish cheddar.
I don't know if it was coastal or not.
Yeah, there's this nice like coastal white cheddar.
I mean, it's an island,
Irish,
so maybe most of Ireland.
Dublin style cheddar.
One thing to just add randomly to that, I think the collecting of assets and stuff, the thing that I feel that it, when I look at my bank account and or my financial situation, it gives me a lot less stress. I think if I was the normal American living up to debt up to my eyes, and I feel that would be so stressful. I wouldn't want to live that life.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing by your story, I'm guessing that also means you probably have hopefully less stress in your life.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I haven't made a lot of the dumb financial mistakes. I mean, I've made some dumb financial mistakes, but like I'm not in credit card debt up to my eyeballs.
Oh, yeah,
like the car I own, like I paid cash for it. I bought that thing, had it delivered. That was really cool.
Nice.
And that felt really good that I was able to be like, hey, I want that thing. Mm-hmm. I've worked my ass off for a while. I deserve to have fun. My license plate says fun. Like, that's what I can do. And
wait, your license plate says fun?
Funning. I was going to get it said, wee, but it was taken.
Is our mic too far away? Is it cut now?
Yeah, a little bit, if you could.
We're going to scoot you a little.
My license plate number is.
No. It says funny, fun.
Funning.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's.
Like winning.
Yeah. But more fun.
Next question.
Yeah.
Give me.
No, but we.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
He wants to like make, model, where's it located?
No, not about the car. I think you were saying you were looking at your peers a little bit and measuring success against your peers.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of doing that.
So you.
But I also haven't had some of the helping steps along the way that some of them have.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend that he owns his house outright, and that's really cool. I would love to own my house outright.
Yeah.
But my dad worked for the phone company. My mom was a school teacher. They weren't in a position to help me out with that along the way.
Yeah.
But I am also not in debt up to my eyeballs.
Yeah.
The only things that I owe are my house, most of a car, and student loans.
So is it wise to say that in general, you don't want to be keeping up with the Joneses? You don't want to be comparing to others because we all start at different places.
You mean like in general, is it healthy to not compare ourselves to others?
Yeah.
I would say yes and no.
Oh.
Because we are social creatures, right? So kind of like what we were talking about before, like that's how we have our own measuring stick of like, am I staying within my social box of normalcy by comparing ourselves to others?
So if I get successful, I should let other people know?
I mean, you have your face on the side of your vehicle. So there's that.
That's advertising.
But you also, I mean, you have a different truck than last time I was here. So that's a symbol of success.
Do I?
No, that's his girlfriend's truck, and then his girlfriend's truck is a white Nissan. His truck is the blue.
Didn't you have a different truck though?
No, I just put the magnets on anybody's truck.
Just anybody that's parked over there. You're like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I think last time Emmett had his magnets on her truck also.
Yes.
Okay.
He was forcing her to drive around with his face on it.
She didn't like that.
Prove your love to me.
It was crimping her style. No, it's literally advertising.
Well, and also you wrote like "she taken" on her window, so that was kind of rude. By this guy.
I have extra magnets if anybody wants to drive them around for me.
Cool. That's all right. I brought a rental today. You can stick them on that. I don't care.
We'll leave it on there and see how long it lasts.
See what they do with it.
No, so I've always looked at life not in comparison to others, because so obviously we all have different starting points and different advantages. So I think more importantly, how far did you get with the hand you were dealt, right?
Yeah.
Is that a healthier way to look at it?
I do think that's a healthier way to look at it. You know, like what am I doing for me? Am I achieving my own version of success? I think looking at peers also can help give us motivation and let us think outside the box. You know, if I've only grown up and I've only thought of this certain thing as success, but I look at my friend and they have this thing and I'm like, well, that might be something to aspire to also. I think in a healthy way that can help motivate us and give us new ideas.
Is it mentally healthy to aspire to not work?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Just make sure I'm not going off the deep end.
Is it mentally healthy to be lazy?
Next question. Give me a story of regret.
Woof.
Sharting.
That was medical.
Whatever I
well,
ate.
you can still say it.
That regret the third donut I had today. Discussing women's fashion with Emmett.
Skirts are coming back. So are bell bottoms.
There's a lot of regrets. Like there's always a lot of regrets, and I think just for my own mental well-being, I try not to think about them so much as, just
I wish
kind
I
of
could
like,
do that.
yeah. Instead of just like, let me learn from that, and that takes a lot of practice to do. That's the stuff that wakes us up at like 3 a.m. like, oh God, that time in 8th grade when, how could things be different? I think I try to look at mistakes that I've made in the past and things that I regret in the past and be like, okay, just don't do that again. Don't make that mistake again, or learn from that, do it differently.
Are you walking around with a bunch of regrets, Liem?
I think I've gotten better as I gotten older, to try to think of what that mistake was, why I made it, and then try to grow from it. But I think there's two sides on that coin. I think that I feel like I'm a better human than most people because I do that. Meaning,
yeah, I would agree with that.
If I made a mistake, doing treating someone wrong or taking more than I should have, later on, if that situation comes up again, I'm much better to not make that mistake. Where I see so many people of all walks of all life, whether America or Vietnam, where they don't think about their.
They keep buying the Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Yes,
keep doing the same thing.
No regret.
No regrets.
I would say when I was younger, I think I dwelled too much on it.
So what would be a biggest regret? Like a career mistake or a relationship mistake, or? Because I think a regret implies that you should have made a different choice and you should have known better.
That's interesting. Okay.
Because for me, when I look back, I generally made the best choice I could at the time. I mean, I have a new perspective and more information and more life now. So looking back, I could say I wish I had done things differently, but I don't have regret in the sense of me at that time wasn't reckless or whatever. Me at that time thought he was doing a good thing.
Yeah. But you having the knowledge that you have now maybe would have made a different decision.
Yeah. To me, it's more like I would have gotten a finance degree instead of accounting.
Yeah.
But do I regret getting an accounting degree? I mean, it's not like it's keeping me up at night.
Yeah.
My stories mostly is usually at the cost of others. So the biggest one I could probably think about is a certain ex-girlfriend where back when I was younger, I was more hot-headed. I'm much more laid back, or I'm more calm nowadays than back then. So I regret that relationship a lot. A lot of the things the way I said things to her, the way
you had fiery passion,
and fiery words.
Fiery asshole.
Yeah. Hairy.
Oh, sorry, just asshole.
Very fiery asshole.
So when I think about that, I regret the way I treated her. I didn't beat her or anything, but the words I said, I felt that they were pretty harsh. I probably shouldn't have said those things.
There's a gal I regret staying with too long.
Do you feel like having that experience and looking back on it, that you learned valuable things about yourself that you may not have otherwise learned?
Definitely. and some of those characteristics are very tough to even get past. Meaning, I think some of those characteristics, I don't know if it stemmed from the way my mom treated me when I was younger.
Definitely.
So how do, when I reflect on that, I try to be a better person. But some of it's really hard because it's like ingrained into the personality. Mm-hmm. So I guess I regret those things. I try to move on. I try to realize why I did that, but it's still tough. Sometimes I still see those characteristics from time to time. Or they're more mellow, but they still happen.
Yeah.
Liem's the kind of guy that will now like go reach out and try to apologize to that ex. Yeah. I've done that. That ex, I think was I don't remember now. I want to say it was 3 years ago. Went to say sorry, and it was like 40 minutes of me just crying. It was terrible.
Crying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I just said sorry. I treated you so bad. I'm sorry.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
Is that mentally healthy? I mean,
I think having the you're like.
Is that sissy stuff okay?
You really want me to say something about like you being unstable.
No,
you're unhealthy.
No, could America learn? Could people out there on the internet?
I think that's especially men in Western society have a very difficult time being humble and acknowledging mistakes and being emotionally vulnerable. So I think that's a very healthy thing to do, more than being obsessed with your hairy butthole and skirts.
I'm just angry about it.
Just angry about it. Well, I think there's another emotion underneath that umbrella of anger.
No, look, if there's a simulator, fuck you. If there's a God that designed us in his image, fuck you. This is silly. It's
why do I have a hairy butthole?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's getting worse with age too. If that helps.
It just migrates.
I'm getting hairier.
Yeah. It migrates from where you want it to where you don't.
Speaking of the effects of aging, I'm continuously getting new hairs in places I didn't used to.
You got 12 minutes, 3 questions. Do you think about death? Do you fear it?
I fear not living enough before death. You know, it's going to come, whatever, one way or another.
So we should all do something fucking wild right now.
Yeah, we're all going streaking. I think the fear is getting to the point where I'm like suddenly on death's door and realizing like I haven't done all the things that I could do. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have a bucket list that you have to hit?
Not really. Like I never really have had a bucket list, but like there are definitely like a few things that I would like to experience.
What's next?
Which I guess
ayahuasca
is a bucket list. I don't even know what that is.
It's when you go to South America somewhere and you lick toads until you hallucinate God.
There's a DMT
frog soup.
Sometimes I get like when it rains heavy, I get like frogs in the pool.
No, it's a special frog.
I don't know. This is a chlorinated frog. I don't know if that would.
No, you got to boil it into magic stew.
A lot of people say it's an out of body experience where you also experience death. Something the DMT in your system overflow, or just it's a lot of it, and then I think people experience what it could feel like when you're about to die.
But how would you know?
I don't know. That's how they explain it.
How would they?
I think they've been primed because they've been told ahead of time what's going to happen.
This is what you're going to experience, and how would you know what it feels like to die? You're alive.
They're interpreting it in that frame, right?
Yeah.
In that mold.
Could be interesting. I was thinking like see the Northern Lights, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's a thing too. So whatever.
All right. Next.
Would you take a trip to the Northern Lights?
To the lights, yes. Into the lights.
Like you would go to Alaska or wherever?
Yeah, or like,
Finland,
Nordic places.
Next question. Do you think cryptocurrency will be around in 15 years? Why or why not?
I'm going to go with because you said so. And you're the expert, according to me. And I hope at least I get my stuff out of wherever it's been by then.
If I can get my money back.
If I can just get that like $40 back, I'll be excited.
Oh, is it literally $40?
I have no idea.
No, did you put in $40 years ago?
This was like 4 or 5 years ago. I have no idea how much I put in.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome, cool.
No, what I mean is even if it was $40, it's probably multiplied since then.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I know I bought at least one Litecoin.
Yeah.
And I think it was like around $100 at the time.
Oh yeah. So you
I
have
don't
at
know.
least $100 of Litecoin.
Because it hasn't moved. Good choice. I was like, I got Ethereum, Bitcoin,
Oh, I don't know.
Litecoin.
Litecoin hasn't grown in
The
value.
smart
No, it
choices.
should have gone up. They've all gone up.
By like $2.
Yeah, you're good. You're rich.
All right, final
Book your trip.
final question. Have you ever had a scary dream? If so, what were they? What was it? And then how many have you had in your life?
Whoa.
That's a really weird question. I don't know. I mean,
Do you
Or
have
just
sca-
a-
do you have scary dreams?
Do you have
Scary
scary dreams and
dreams.
about how many?
I don't know. I rarely remember my dreams too much afterwards. I just have like weird dreams. Like if I eat something before I go to bed, I have these really weird, vivid dreams, and they usually involve like some kind of quest.
Whoa.
And then I remember them for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, and you were
Wait,
there,
wait,
and there was
like,
a llama, and
If you eat flaming hot Cheetos at 11:30 p.m., you go on a mythical
all kinds
quest.
of weird things happening
Is it medieval quest or?
all over the place. There, I don't know. My cat's usually there. I don't know.
Your
Or my
cat
dog.
joins you on your
He
quest?
does. He's a little adventure. Had this
makes
cat
it a-
for a long time. We've been through some shit together.
I think in the fantasy world, that makes it a familiar, an animal that accompanies you.
Yeah.
So this question kind of came up to me because a few weeks ago I was talking with Emmett and some cousins and whatnot, and some of us said that we had scary dreams. One of them said he has scary dreams all the time that wake him up. In every possible way that you can die, he's probably dreamed it. I've had probably about, I'm gonna guess, between 7 to 10 scary dreams where I wake up like either yelling or something. To me, none of those. I feel like they don't make sense to me. I feel if I had to psychologically address it, I think it's just I've seen some scary movies and it just somehow. And I think the last one we did with Isaac, where I talked about that scary red that samurai, I think I found the exact movie where it came from, and there's a scary samurai in that movie.
Mhm.
The only difference is in my dream he was red, in that movie it was like kind of black or whatever. It was like the same exact scene.
Racist.
So I was really surprised when I think Emmett, Marielle were there saying, and Steve, I think 3 of them said, no, they don't really have scary dreams ever.
Because I don't watch samurai movies.
So that's where this came from.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I there's a lot of different theories on like dreams, how they come about, what they mean. From my understanding, and I guess the theory that I would most support is this is, unless it's some kind of reliving traumatic experience, it's just kind of like your brain. That's the part of the sleep cycle where your brain is just like the little secretary's out and she's just filing stuff. So a lot of stuff is like what happened during the day, and then, oh, this memory that's over here that never really got put where it was supposed to be, and this stuff that's just kind of always there. And it just kind of like jumbles and gets flashed up on the screen as it's getting sort where it needs to go. So yeah, I don't know. And I know that I used to have like scary dreams all the time when I was just a person that was less confident with myself, I guess.
Oh.
I used to have a lot of like the persecutory dreams where you're being chased. And one recurring that I had when I was younger, and interestingly, this was before I had my back injury, was that somebody was chasing me around with like a butcher knife. And they were always trying to stab me in the middle of the back. And I
Wait,
would
isn't
wake
that a
up,
big
like,
rectangular square thing?
That's
Oh, it's
cleaver
a
knife.
cleaver. Okay.
Yeah, like the,
Butcher knife's a
chef's
stabby one.
knife. Yes.
Okay.
Stabby stab.
Gotcha.
It'd be weird for somebody chasing you around with a cleaver like that, and not like this. You're an inefficient assassin. Yeah.
You're cleaving wrong.
Made it extra scary because I was like, you don't know what you're doing.
Sorry,
But I would have
that's-
that dream all like frequently of being chased and like stabbed in the middle of the back.
Oh.
And this was like years before I actually had an injury in the middle of my back, which is weird. But
So have you never had it since your back injury?
I want to maybe once or twice.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just kind of wake up like spasming, which is weird.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start like tweaking now, just thinking about it. Just like,
We're digging
stop
deep.
stabbing me. But yeah, I don't know that I have a lot of scary dreams anymore, unless you consider like the pee dream scary. You know, and you wake up and you're like, oh, did I pee?
Oh, no.
Because in your dream you peed. So you wake up and you're like, did I?
No, it's good. You're waking
try
yourself up to go pee.
Hopefully.
I don't think I've had one of that yet.
No?
I've
I
had
drink
one.
a lot of water throughout the day. So
I had one where my ex-girlfriend was in the room and I was dreaming that I was having, it felt so good to fart. And I woke up and she was like laughing at me. She's like, last night you were farting like crazy. You had like a parade going on.
Fart parade.
Yeah.
I've actually woke myself up because I farted so loud in my sleep before.
Oh.
I know. Can she get sexier? Yeah. And then like the cat's just looking at me like rude. Yeah. That doesn't happen a lot, but you know.
I would say the recurring butcher knife dream counts as scary, right?
Yeah, I mean it was scary at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of weird, like, but I think that's like a self-esteem thing. You know, like when
Have you found as you get less fearful of the world, then you have less scary dreams?
I would say, yeah, but I also like we have this negativity bias, right? So I would say like as a kid, I had a lot more scary dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that actually true, or is that just what I'm remembering? Because I just remember the scary stuff more. But I was definitely, I mean, I was not a self-assured person as a kid. So always having dreams of being like chased and attacked.
Did you say selfish?
Self-assured.
Oh, self-assured.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, so we're trying to be self-assured?
Yeah, self-assured.
Okay.
More of the selfish.
Got it.
That's really interesting that you said that segment and then earlier being more confident and or less self-conscious, that the bad dreams were less. I think that's interesting.
I mean, and I could be totally wrong with that, and I just don't remember my dreams anymore, or things that I would otherwise perceive as scary. I'm just like, that's weird.
You ever take melatonin?
I did for a little while. I didn't really find it helpful.
Oh. I think there's some correlation with if melatonin helps you sleep a little deeper, you get wackier dreams or remember them more. Something like that.
I don't know.
When I was on OxyContin for the foot pain, the dreams are super vivid. The colors, holy crap! Like in dreams, you don't. At least for me, I don't remember colors at all. But when I woke up, I remembered all the colors.
Remember the Red Samurai?
Yeah, even then that was like a pale red. It wasn't a bright.
It's a lame ass red.
Yeah.
Boring red.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Calling it?
And gentlemen. We call this an official end.
I was enjoying it so much. Goodbye, world.
We'll see you on the next one.
Oh, there's a next time. Good.